The Browns, they're putrid. They're the worst team in the NFL.
The 2024 season is over.
Lamar Jackson can't win the playoffs. He'll win a third MVP, though, so that's great.
Drew Sample is the most important piece of the Bengals offense next year.
Go Joe Burrow. He deserves to be MVP. I wish he was the Browns quarterback. Kind of mean that.
If you're looking for the most reactionary, silly, and unserious show on the internet, then you're home. Live from Hamilton, Ohio, it's Off the Bench by Chatterbox Sports on 1410 ESPN Radio.
They didn't actually think we were going to start on time for the 1000th episode of Off the Bench.
It is episode 1K.
Episode 1000.
It's a special day.
It is a day. It's a day. It's special. The sun is shining.
It is.
The Reds have won. And you know what? Here's what I'll do. Because this is our last show. The Reds season is back on. It's back on.
What a start.
It's back on.
What a start. Casey and I were talking before the show. Sorry to steal the intro on the last show, but
I'll do a better one tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. We were talking before the show. We both kind of share the sentiment that we're not sure the Reds are going to lose again.
Yeah.
And then the Moneyball sequel is going to be about this month and this team.
Correct.
Right after we end. And I asked Casey, when they do the black and white montage before about all the local shows saying how bad they are and the season's over, we'll be in that. But we'll be the only show not in the color version at the end enjoying the wins.
The only way that we make it in that colored version is if this episode we're just completely
We should just
positive.
praise a World Series in case.
Let's just predict it right now.
We get the clips.
Oh my God, the Reds won the World Series.
Let's.
Oh my God.
And
Elliot.
Casey's back, everybody.
They won the World Series. What? No, I can't believe it. Let's do one for the NLCS in case they get there too.
The Reds advanced for the playoffs for the first time since 1995. Elliot, thoughts?
Whoa! I can't believe it. They advanced to the NLCS. Well, no, it would be the divisional
Won the
round.
wild card.
NLDS. Whoa!
Garrett Hampson hit a walk-off home run in Game 7 of the CS.
That's too unrealistic.
Okay.
Too unrealistic.
right,
Too
well,
unrealistic.
we
Should we do? What else can we predict? in the
CES
summer?
has an OPS
World
over
Cup.
1 this year.
Oh wow! CES is really good. What about the World Cup, Casey? Isn't that coming to town? Who you got for the World Cup?
I don't think that's is it?
Is that not this year?
I think it's the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, let's predict next year's too. Why not? The U.S. are the World Cup champions. Wow.
Whoa.
Ronaldo traded to the United States.
When does FC Cincinnati, when does their season start?
Nah, it doesn't. We don't have to do that one.
Fair enough.
They're all year round.
Bengals started 0-3, Casey.
Oh,
Damn it.
Well,
Not
again.
and that's the one
Not
we'll be
again.
able to use. That's the one we'll be able to use.
So, couple things. Yes, we got Casey back. Everyone, Casey McAllister, everybody. Producer extraordinaire.
Thank you, guys.
We did not think we were going to get you back for the last show, but we were able to pull it off. And that's because you were willing to come in.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
We
No
appreciate it.
problem. I was not going to miss the last show. Sad to see the show go. It's been a great ride. But I wanted to be here. Wanted to be here for the final show. Wanted to be here to send Jacob off, and wouldn't have missed it for the world. Right now, my wife is probably cursing my name up and down. She had to take over the night shift, so she's just dead tired. I don't even know if she's watching the show. She's probably not watching the show, to be honest with you. She's probably sleeping. But yeah, healthy baby girl.
There we go.
there we go.
So-
There we go.
Officially a dad.
Has she done a backflip
I
yet?
was going to say.
No.
No.
No
Okay.
backflips.
All right, well,
Alex is here. Wow.
Is she here?
What a supportive woman.
Wow.
the clock is ticking for Sawyer to become an Olympic athlete. So I would like you to at least put a little bit of pressure on that. Maybe a little tossing a softball around, throwing a football, whatever you got. Let's get Sawyer involved.
Well, you're in luck because she's already kicking a soccer ball.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
There
I
we
was
go.
hoping she wouldn't go
balls.
that sport.
No.
If it's Olympic
Women's
athlete-
soccer's fine. U.S. women's soccer team's great.
Yeah, I was just hoping she'd go a different route, but that's all right. I guess you guys are soccer guys, and that's okay.
I'd be getting her learning how to golf at a certain point.
That's right.
There's a lot of women's
Scholarship
golf
does.
scholarships out there.
If
That's
scholarships
right.
are even a thing by the time she's 18.
That's true.
That's true. They're just outright paying people to play now, right? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
how this
right.
works? But are people surprised that you were in here, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's been that connection yet.
No.
Sign off yesterday.
You did the final goodbye yesterday.
Yeah, but then I came back, and that's what it's about. It's about 2 final send-offs.
I don't know if you saw the end of the show yesterday, but we ended it and then came back because we forgot to read the super chats because you weren't here, and that's your job.
Okay, all right. So what were the super chats? Do we have them? Any recollection?
I was singing the Bengals. People were gonna miss singing the Bengals song.
I see.
How often did you do that? Wasn't it just once?
Every touchdown.
Oh, in the Chatterbox Bengals.
Yeah, and the Bengals, though they did lose most of the games, they scored a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, they did.
So I was singing a lot before having my heart broken.
Pearl, good morning. How are you? I mean, you're dealing with a lot of buffoonery here.
What a day.
That's okay.
But yeah, it's your job to balance us out, okay?
Today's a clown show, Pearl. You just got
Also,
It's fun.
what a bold decision to wear a green shirt sitting over there. I mean,
I didn't
that is
like that.
insane on your
still
part.
have I didn't like that.
I didn't even notice it.
I still have the Pacer shirt in my backpack. I can put that on.
It's fine. But I had a shirt yesterday that was the same shade, and I had a
Yeah.
hole in my chest all day.
Yeah, I was looking at the video here and I was like, I thought I was wearing a green shirt. And I was like, oh, didn't collect that.
That's
Green
There you go.
screens.
But again, off the bench, we'll try and do as normal of a show as possible while still
Sure.
acknowledging that we are wrapping the show up today. And on the way in, I was thinking about, so I think July 1st was the first show that I did. You guys were just talking about how long you've been doing the show, but Casey, you did the very first one. You've technically been here from the very. Didn't you say it was set up over here? The producer area was set up on opposite end of the room.
So things have been changed around quite a bit since I've started this little show. Initially, before we even went on air, I was over where Kinner was, and there was no camera on me. I was completely behind the scenes, and Tom was just gonna carry the show by himself. Well, we ended up switching gears on that one, and it was me and Seho. And then Seho moved on, and we got Paul, Quitter Paul, BLP, and then we did the Ham and Eggers, and we held it down over here as the producers. And over time, we started collecting some interns, Elliot and Jacob, and they ended up coming here and being full-time guys with us for as long as they did. And it's looked a lot different. It's been a lot different over time, but it's still had the same sort of goofy, silly show, sports talk show vibe that it's always had. And it's been a fun journey, been a fun ride. And it's not like it's completely over. I'm sure we're going to come back better than ever in the fall. It's going to look different, I'm sure. I plan on making it look different when we come back. I just don't know what those plans look like just yet. But, yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about it. This is probably, Reed said it in the chat, I'm probably the most been on the show the most.
I think so.
Been the most appearances on the show.
I would guess
Elliot
by a
second.
wide margin.
Probably
you're
by a
number
wide
one.
margin. Yeah.
And I mean, it got a little dicey around the time he needed a new roof. It seemed like every week you were putting a new roof on for a little bit. But
Yeah.
that roof must be the most sturdy roof in your neighborhood, right?
Oh yeah, it is. It is probably the most. It probably is the newest roof on the block. So
There you go.
I mean, yeah, very sturdy. And then when I was gone for the baby, that was a couple weeks. So yeah, Elliot almost caught up with me.
You're still out on paternity leave.
A little bit, maybe a little bit, but I might be back. This might be my first day back. We'll see.
You caved. You caved. There you
By
go.
the way, we got our first super chat, and we knew this.
We
was
knew
gonna-
they'd come.
We
We
knew
knew
it was
they'd
going to
come.
happen this way, and we have to read it because when they send us money, contractually we have
And
to.
you have to remember, Elliot,
Yeah.
that the only way you read is if they send us money.
That's right. That's right.
You have problems with that sometimes.
I do, but it's a chat show.
Well,
this
the
show
nice
was
ones
for
you
the
can
chat.
read for free.
Yeah, that's
The mean ones they have to pay, and,
They have to
and
pay.
sadly, Alex Hunter-Bauserman paid.
$1.99, and I guess he was just making a connection here. Kinner joins the show, and it dies a year later. Your thoughts?
I guess that's not really. It's not mean. He's just saying two facts.
He's pointing out a fact.
I mean, I made it a year. An entire year.
Kinner did a great job. I
Kinner
know
did a solid
the
job.
bit in the chat that Kinner wasn't good at, that's a silly take. Kinner did a great job hosting the show. He was here every day, driving 200 hours from Dayton, so did a great job. And even when he wasn't, he was still
he was
while
hosting
at his
every
other
day.
while at his other job, he was still helping out with this job. So
Of course.
thank you to Justin Kinner. Kinner, you did a
You
great
guys
job.
read the cue cards. I appreciate it.
That's
You
right.
guys-
That's
you guys
right.
were
Yeah,
prepared.
you put a teleprompter over there
the
today. I was
teleprompter,
wondering
yeah.
what it was.
I had to write it on my wrist.
All right, well, we're going to try and do as much of a sports show today as possible as we wrap up off the bench. Here today, the Cincinnati Reds, they extend their win streak to 4, coming off the sweep over the Diamondbacks over the weekend, and then they had Wade Miley on the mound last night. I did not like their chances. I thought it could have been a bloodbath in Game 1 against the Guardians, but that was not the case. We're going to talk about the Reds' win over the Guardians last night. They've now won 4 straight. Can they keep it going? We'll discuss when we come back. More off the bench when we return. Well, the Reds, last night, they take care of business in Game 1 against the Guardians. And, Elliot, the question I have for you is, this is the last show for us to find out if they've done enough to get you to buy back in. They've won 4 straight. They're scoring runs. Their pitching dominance continues, although it was a little shaky with Wade Miley yesterday, but not as bad as what we were anticipating. Are you scooting back up in your chair? Are you starting to get a little bit more confident? Are you starting to build a little excitement now that the Reds are starting to produce runs and complementing their great pitching?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not going to say, I mean, I believe in them 100%. But as for this being, the last show, I'm going to say that they're back. I'm going to say they're all the way back, and I'm going to have no regrets about it. Here's the thing. They are doing something that they haven't really done this season, and that's fight. Yesterday, again, trailing, coming back. I know it wasn't a big deficit, but they were trailing. And the fact that they're able to do that right now when they have not been able to do that seemingly for over 2 years, it shows to me that at least something good is happening when I thought nothing at all was happening. So good on the Reds. It's good on the Reds that they've been able to. Hopefully they win today and you stack some series and you get some momentum and you build onto it. Do I really think that they're all the way back? Do I really think anything's changed? I don't know. It's up to you. Just enjoy your summer. Just enjoy your
That's
summer.
right.
That's how I'll say it.
That's right. Now, I'll ask you, because I was thinking about it last night, if the Reds do rip off, a couple series here, look much better than we've seen them look, and can stack some wins, get back into the race here in this tough schedule, how much more frustrating will it be that they didn't seize the opportunity in the weak part of the schedule earlier this season?
See, you're trying to get me to go negative today. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But you asked, so now I have to answer.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to make me very, very frustrated, the fact that they didn't beat the Marlins and the Nationals, and they lost to the Pirates.
They did,
And
'cause
they
they did
lost,
all those
and they
things.
lost to the White Sox.
Yeah.
It does make me frustrated, and it makes me angry. But, if they're able to make up for it in the back end by beating the Yankees and the Red Sox and everybody else, then who knows? Sure, maybe it doesn't matter that much. I mean, do you have to take advantage of an easy schedule? Yeah. But I also think they didn't completely go through that stretch looking horrible. Like, they could have proven that they were the worst team in Major League Baseball. That's not what they are.
They were still 500. I mean,
They're
after
500 through it all. They were
yeah.
500 through it all. They're still 500 now. So, if they're able to stay at this mark, I don't think it gets them in the playoffs, but at least it keeps us watching. And that's been my only goal.
Were you expecting less from Wade Miley?
I mean, Wade Miley, I mean, no disrespect to him, but I don't expect a single thing from Wade Miley.
If you were promised
And
that
even-
stat line beforehand, would you have taken it?
I mean, I guess, but it's
I think
like
we all
people,
would
I
have,
think,
though.
I mean, people were acting like that was like good. Like, he didn't pitch well.
But the bar is so low.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Kinner said he wanted 1 inning of shutout baseball.
Yeah, I mean, 5 innings, three
Yeah,
earned runs, 4 walks, 5 hits. I mean, that's not. I mean, it's a lot of base runners.
And it was a straight downhill trajectory from the first pitch to the last.
Yeah, I listen. Wade Miley, I don't think he'll be here for very long. I imagine he'll get a couple more starts before they make some changes. I imagine we're going to see Burnsy, not soon, but I would say in a few months we see Burnsy.
What's the line for Louisville starts? I think it's 5.
I would say probably 5.
Over under is 5.5.
Yeah, I would say it's probably around 5.
What would that put him time-wise? Would that
be 5
after
weeks.
the All-Star break?
It would be right
5
after the
weeks,
All-Star break.
What if, here's what
First home game?
Not first home game, Bristol. That's a little far out. Can they drag that on that long? Can you still?
Wild.
That's 2 months.
It would depend on where the Reds are at, I'd imagine.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on what we've talked about the whole time with Chase Burns, Hunter Green, who flew out to LA for a second opinion yesterday. And one thing I know about second opinions in sports, you only get them if the first one's real bad.
Yeah,
Real
really
I feel
bad.
like there's a lot of Reds players that do that. Whenever they get injured, they fly out to wherever they are originally from to get a second opinion.
Which is weird. I don't know why they would doubt the Reds medical staff. I mean, I feel like that's a very trusted, well-respected, a group of medical experts that why need a second opinion? I mean, what's going on? Yeah, I read that. Didn't like that.
Yeah.
That didn't, by the way, it's not just again, he went on the IL the first time for the groin strain. Obviously back on the IL with the groin strain, but the back issues. He's also having some back issues as well. So you add the back in there with the groin problem right now. That also has me a little concerned because, like I said, I don't think we see him before the All-Star break, and I'm just hoping that we see him relatively soon after the All-Star break. Maybe that Bristol date could be the date that the Reds circle and say that's either one that we're holding for the return of Hunter Green, or that's the debut of Chase Burns. But I'm with you. That just seems too far off, but what a cool way to debut Chase Burns if you could push it off that far.
I'd be a little mad.
Little mad?
I'd be a little mad. Debut him here, man. Debut him in Great American.
I think he should debut in Great American, but I wouldn't be opposed if that's the case.
It'd be cool. It'd be 100%. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Debut him in Great American. They waited for Ellie to debut him in Great American. They debuted Matt in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was, a little bit. I mean, obviously it helped the Reds go on a win streak, right, when he came up in 2023. But it would have been nice to see all these guys debut at home. Just give more of the fans a chance to see it.
Yeah.
I thought Elliott was going to be disappointed that Matt McClain debuted in Colorado.
It's such a hard place to play.
I mean, they stacked the deck against him. Barely had a chance.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, off the bench, Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliott, and Jacob. Wow, we got the full.
That's a
Got the
mouthful.
full cast. Yes. By the way, that chair's empty. We are waiting for. No, Reed said he's going to pop in.
Reed's going to come in at some point during the show. That I don't know when he's going to come in, but if he takes my seat, he takes my seat. I would like him to be on the final show here for the time being.
So, obviously, we talked about Hunter Green going to get that second opinion. Obviously, the groin and back problem, getting that diagnosis from whatever the Reds medical staff is here. Didn't like that one. Went to Los Angeles to get that. Don't know when he'll be back. But right now, the one thing that we've talked about, it just seems like we have never been able to really and truly enjoy how good this pitching staff has been. They've had so many great stretches that we've just haven't been able to highlight because also during those same stretches, this team just struggles to produce runs. I don't know if this offensive surge that they're currently on right now is here to stay, but they're getting so many offensive contributions from seemingly different characters every night. But I will say, Christian Encarnacion Strand, since coming back, I wasn't all warm and fuzzy when he came back. I didn't get excited for his return. I'd kind of, I don't want to say fully given up on him, but at no point have I seen a stretch of him that where I'm like, man, I can't wait for him to get back. Kind of like was always confused as to why people said, man, they need to get him back. They needed to get him back so they could figure out what he was, but I never thought they needed to get him back because, man, they're just missing a key piece of his production. I don't know if this production is here to stay. I don't expect a home run in every game, but so far every game since returning, he has a thumbprint on every win since returning, and it's just having that consistent force in that lineup. Yes, he brings the power, but it's also opening everything up, and which is good because the Reds could potentially be getting Austin Hayes back at the end of this Guardian series.
Yeah, we've talked about how much this team misses power, and that's why we were so frustrated when Will Benson was doing the yo-yo between Louisville and Cincinnati. That's why we still talk about Reese Hines, even though maybe the average and the on-base percentage and all that stuff's not where you want it to be. There's not a lot of guys in this Reds lineup that give you a threat of hitting a home run when they step in the batter's box. And now that we've seen Christian Encarnacion Strand kind of play to what we expected in the minors, that's been great. Because honestly, outside of 2023, both of the small stretches we've seen from him, he's been the worst qualified hitter in baseball. So the bar for him to be a little bit better of a contributor couldn't be, that high. But he's certainly soared over that in this latest return. And if he can be, I mean, I'm not going to expect him to hit 500 this year, but if he can be a power threat where, you put him in the middle of the lineup and when he gets up to the plate, the pitcher on the mound has to think about, he can hit a home run here. That adds something to this Reds lineup that we weren't getting out of a lot of these players. I mean, Santiago Espinal, Man, he's in that lineup. Hamster's in that lineup. We got, TJ Friedel somehow hits home runs. I was looking at his baseball savant
TJ
page.
Friedel's great.
I was looking at his baseball savant page yesterday, and it's hilarious.
Can I ask you something? Don't Jonathan India TJ Friedel.
Oh.
Don't Jonathan India TJ Friedel.
You
already Jonathan India Andrew Abbott.
You're going to love TJ Friedel.
Don't Jonathan India TJ Friedel.
You're going to love TJ
Friedel's
Friedel
a good baseball player.
Diamondbacks uniform later this year.
And I'm tired of hearing this fan base, oh, TJ Friedel, look at these advanced analytics. He's going to be a bum. He's the best player on the team.
He is, but he's 30 and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Consistency.
That's right. I'm not worried about TJ Friedel's great. As for what you guys were just talking about with CES making it matters. I mean, it certainly matters. I'd like Noelvi Marte to come back eventually, and hopefully we have an offense that's able to, if anything, just be more consistent than it is. It's not consistent now. I'd like that to be the case moving forward, just so we know what we're getting. Right now, they're fighting. They're playing good baseball together as a team. They're playing good team baseball. And I just want that to continue. I know the bottom half of the lineup's not good, but Matt McClain 0 for 5 yesterday.
He had some real good defensive plays, though.
His gloves.
I will say.
Yeah, his gloves incredible.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that, I'm not going to be out on Matt McClain. I think he's going to have a great career in Major League Baseball. Right now, it's for a team that struggles offensively like they do. When Noelvi Marte comes back, there's going to have to be eventually a move made with Matt McClain. I don't know when that's going to be, but eventually there's going to have to be something there that happens. As far as power goes, and I know he played well yesterday, Jake Fraley 3 for 4, a couple RBIs, obviously hit the home run. Jake Fraley's a guy I want to believe in, but let me ask you this. What's the corresponding move when Austin Hayes comes back? Is it Jake Fraley?
I would do Connor Joe.
I would do Connor Joe, too.
Connor Joe, for real.
But I'm concerned that they're going to do Jake Fraley. I'm concerned that they're going to go the Jake Fraley route. And I understand the fan base's frustration with him. He hasn't hit
You have
for power.
Candelario coming very soon as well.
Maybe.
I think that one's even easier because it's Hampson.
Yeah, I know. I think that Candelario, if he does come back, I don't know how long that leash is going to be before a decision's made. Because I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't want to make up lies. I don't know how much of that injury was really injury.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he comes back and he's just as horrible as he was, respectfully, before he was injured, I don't know how long that's sustainable. He will be back up at some point, but I'm not banking on Jamier Candelario being a long-term option any longer. But Austin Hayes, I am. He just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, again, they said potentially at the end of this Guardians series, that would be a nice little addition.
Absolutely.
Look, we saw the difference when he's in the lineup, just how explosive this lineup looks. Obviously, at some point, when he got off to that hot start, obviously started the season on the IL and then started out hot, kind of questioning, the sample size of games. You don't want to get too overly excited. You need to see that over a long stretch of time. Have we seen that over a long stretch of time enough to know that that's who he is and what he brings to the table? He's a former All-Star. We know last year the numbers dropped significantly with the Orioles due to that kidney infection, where he still played through some of that, but his numbers really weren't great, which honestly he played his way into the pile, the bargain bin that the Reds, of course, can afford, which, of course, they come out looking good because now that he's healthy, he's kind of returned to form a little bit. But if Christian Encarnacion Strand is continuing to play the way he is, you get Austin Hayes back. Obviously, TJ Friedel at the top of the order has been the most consistent Red since opening day to now. Ellie De La Cruz is Ellie. I know we keep focusing on the fact that he has not taken that major step from last year to this year, but again, he's in that lineup. He's contributing. He hasn't had that long stretch of where he just wasn't producing like he was in early April every night. The bottom line is this top half of the order has actually been pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And Will Benson, who continues to be put in the back or the bottom third of the order, he always seems to sneak in an RBI or two here almost every time he's out there. He'll sneak a home run in from time to time. I think the Reds lineup, sneaky okay, not good. Not good. I think they're sneaky okay, and the pitching's been so dang good. They don't have to lead the league in runs scored. They don't have to put 7 runs up every night. But man, oh man, they can't continue to be this victim of these shutout losses, and continuing to score 2 runs or less as consistent and as annoyingly often as they do. But we've seen when they produce runs, it complements this pitching staff well. we should be disappointed that Hunter Green. We are disappointed that Hunter Green's not here. It should be more of a gut punch that he's out for a long period of time. I just think that when you're scoring runs and you have a deep pitching staff the way the Reds do, I think they can get by without him for quite some time. Not saying that's ideal, but they are built to be able to survive that, if you will. We'll see how long they have to do it.
I was thinking about this the other day. We always talk about that the water finding its level and stuff with the pitching staff. Kinner's right. I mean, despite everything, they have been, when they lose just one guy, not the whole core like they did last year, but when you lose just one guy, the Reds have the depth and they have the talent to back that person up. Whether that be just a Brent Suter opener or whether that be something else, they do have that option. I'm not going to believe in Wade Miley for 1 second, with all due respect and love. I think there's going to be a better option in a few weeks or a month than Wade Miley. But for right now, everybody has been able to pick up whoever's been down. Andrew Abbott was down to start the year. They were great without him. Hunter Green's now down. Let's see how they are without him. And they're fighting. So, and maybe it's one of those things, too, where you have to score runs because your ace is gone, and maybe that plays a mental factor into it. I don't know. I don't know what goes in the minds of professional athletes. But right now, they seem to be playing with a little bit more fire offensively than they have been in the past. Able to come back. They're fighting. They're putting decent, consistent at-bats up, most of them. If we get some of our guys back healthy, if we get Noelvi and Austin Hayes back, maybe we start talking about this team being an okay offensive team. I don't think they're the world's best offensive team, but like Kinner just said,
gotta be okay.
You just got to be all right.
The Reds' offense is very similar to the Bengals' defense.
Thank you. That was my next comparison was that.
You gotta just be all right, because the other side is pretty damn good. So give them a chance. And I'm honestly more confident in the Reds being able to withstand a Hunter Green absence than Reds fans. Just Twitter and the sentiment and everything with Wade Miley starting yesterday, even with him playing well, it felt like every single tweet, or well enough, I should say, to get the win. It felt like every single tweet, even after a 3-up, 3-down inning, was, okay, thank God he made it through that, now let's get him out of the game. And I had some as well. So, we've said it time and time again that, every fifth day being a Reds fan is way more exciting than the other four when Hunter Green's on the mound. And now we're waiting, a while to see him again. So I think the fans, might need him back a little bit quicker than the team does.
One thing that Pearl and Jake and I talked about, oh God, what I missed.
Who made that one?
I've been working hard over here. That's why I've been a little distracted. Sorry, we'll get to that in a moment, but I'm glad you... Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, sports tried to... I'm sure he could have... I literally just hit send on that.
No, my bad. Usually it's Elliot that gets distracted, but what was I supposed to do? Oh my gosh!
This interruption will make sense here in a little bit when we get to that. But what the hell?
I'm sorry.
Just go to break. Just go to break.
I tell you what, we'll pick up with this segment 3 when we come back. We're off the bench next. And we are back off the bench. Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliot, and Jacob. Reed's going to hop on with us in a moment. Are we getting special cameos throughout the show as well?
Do you want to do one of them now?
Yeah, well, go ahead. Who do we have lined
Casey,
up right now?
can we bring Paul in for a sec? I'll give Casey a couple seconds to bring Paul in. But I knew it was Jacob's last show, so it wouldn't be off the bench without at least one cameo from Paul. So, Paul, if you wouldn't mind.
Jacob, from one quitter to another, congratulations on your next move. I hope if he hasn't already, Elliot's bawling his eyes out for you because he did for me, so he should for you. Look, nobody that I know knows more ball than you do. Nobody hates Jonathan India more than you do, but I hope that you keep creating content somewhere, somehow, some way, because you'll have a lot of people watching and listening if you do. You're really good at it, and I know a lot of people will be paying attention. Go get some Gina's for lunch, end this way the right way, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Congratulations, man.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
That's
Thank you,
Paul.
Elliot.
Nope.
I appreciate that. It's very nice.
I tried to go in my bag yesterday, and here's a little fun fact. I was gonna make a little Marvel movie yesterday before I knew I was gonna be on the show today. I was gonna have about 10 different cameos. Now I didn't end up doing that because I found that I was gonna be on, but I had about 5 in the chamber that you're not gonna see. I have a video that was already made that's nobody's gonna see the light of day. It was real emotional. Everybody in this room was gonna cry. And by the way, Paul said, "Is Elliot gonna cry?" I did cry, and I did cry yesterday after I said my final farewell before today's final farewell.
That helps today, though, right?
Jacob could have been mean yesterday and kept those cameras rolling because I was in a bad way when I walked out.
I also had to go to break, so it worked for the both of us.
So I did my crying. I'm not going to try to cry. I can't even look at Jacob if I'm going to be honest. But we got a golf match today. We're going to go to Gina's today. All the things that Paul said. We're going to do it. So I didn't want to have this show without one last Paul cameo. So.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you, Paul. He's in the chat today, giving everyone his takes. A lot of BLPs in the chat, so always good to have Big League Paul here.
What was Paul's role here before? Obviously he was
Pearl
part of the
seat.
show.
Yep, Paul was in Pearl seat. Paul was Pearl seat, and he did the graphics
Very cool.
next to Casey. So he would be a member of the Ham and Eggers.
That's right.
and-
Do we have that?
Do we have any of the stingers? Do we have anything left? By the way, while you say that, I'm going to go read these super chats.
Because boy, oh boy.
So we'll start with, I think this is, see, the chat summary is getting in the way. I don't know how to turn that off.
You gotta
Chat
just
summary
rate
is
it.
always great sometimes.
That's telling me I got to say more. By the way, thank you for listening on the radio. This is a wild show for the radio. So Harry gave us $1.
Harry, who? There's a couple Harrys in the chat.
So it's spelled COX. And his first name's Harry. And
No
he-
message. Just gave $1.
No-
Yeah, Cokes. Yeah.
Harry Cokes gave us $1 to be on the show today. No message. He just wanted his name read. I don't believe I read it correctly, but that is what he gave us. Mr. Mo, $4.99. Congrats to Tito winning the Ohio Cup. Joins elite company of Dusty Baker and Brian Price of Reds managers to win it. Wait, someone's missing.
Yeah, the most famous trophy in sports.
Michael Rolfe, $10. I believe this OTB crew could be the characters from Anchorman. Congrats on the new news job, Jacob. Now, who is which character from Anchorman?
I love Lamp.
I think Kinner.
Oh God.
I think Kinner.
Elliot's
do a
Paul
poll.
Rudd.
Do
Elliot's
a
Paul
poll.
Rudd.
I think I'm Paul Rudd.
Casey's Ron Burgundy.
Casey's Ron Burgundy. No, Reed's Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Reed's Ron Burgundy.
Reed said he's Brian Fantana, and I think that's also fair.
Okay, well then Reed's Paul Rudd. I'll be. Are you? So you're Brick?
I don't know.
I think he's Brick. He's Brick Tamland.
You're most likely to fake your death and go to your own funeral.
You're David Cockner's character, Champ. You're Champ.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
That's who you are. I don't know who I am. Maybe I'm the station director. I'm the station director. Outside of that, that's who our characters are. Another super chat here from GC3, $2. Hopefully we still get some zebra takes on IG. All right. Yeah. Listen, we're not all dead. So we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But thank you very much, GC3, for your super chat. Thank you very much. Elliot is Christina Applegate, says Reed. I like that one. I like that one.
All right, it's off the bench. Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliott, and Jacob with you. Big night. Look, Casey has a baby now, and it was a big night for him last night. It has nothing to do with the baby. It just has everything to do with that his least favorite wrestler, Jey Uso, he lost to Gunther last night. He is no longer the WWE champion. He is no longer yeeting, guys. I know that you've been antsy to get an update.
Yeah.
Casey, what happened on Monday Night Raw last night? Monday Night Raw.
I mean, Gunther took care of business, and
That's your guy.
he is my guy, for one. I mean, he's like my favorite wrestler probably of all time, besides John Cena, of course.
And your all-time starts like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, Gunther got his revenge. He choked him out. I mean, that was exactly how I wanted it to play out, and he's no longer yeeting. He's no longer a champion. Although I was a little upset that the tag team duo, which was Friday or Saturday of John Cena and
Elliott?
That was a Kinner question.
Little help?
Yeah, I can't remember what day that was. It was Saturday or Sunday.
Had to be Saturday because I remember you complaining that there was no NBA Finals.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
Saturday.
mad
Yeah,
Saturday.
They just
Saturday.
didn't want the competition of WWE Saturday Night Main Event. That's what it was.
Yeah, John Cena and Logan Paul tag team versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. That didn't go as planned. They were beating the tag team of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes before R-Truth. Now Ron Killings came and ruined that. So I was down low. Now I'm back up high. My guys are taking care of business, taking care of winning the championship belts. So
Well, last night on Monday Night Raw, it was announced the main event for WrestleMania. They're announcing it well in advance. WWE executives, they watch the show. They're very familiar with the rivalries on this show. They're very familiar with the fights on this show. And no fight was bigger than the Smirk, the day of the Smirk. So it was announced that at WrestleMania, whatever the hell number it is, coming up a year from now, in the main event will be myself, the clown, going up against Elliott, the Smirk. And there you have it. They released the graphic last night.
Wow.
And the build-up to it is going to be unlike any build to a WrestleMania main event in the history of wrestling.
And can I ask you something?
Ask away.
The way you're holding that bat, were you going for a routine single on an 0-2 count?
I think he's going
To
for
be
your
fair,
head.
I mean, what is that?
He's going
grip?
for your head.
What is that grip?
That has nothing to do
Why
with
are you
swinging a
choked up
baseball.
so much?
First of all, me and you were standing very, very close. I don't know what that has to do with choking up. I'm just trying to think of an excuse of why I'm holding it very strange. However, I wasn't actually lining up to hit a baseball. It was supposed to represent me hitting you in the head with the bat because you smirked.
I know it did.
Thanks for
If
the-
you listen, buddy, if we want to wrestle, we can wrestle right now. We'll make today a wrestle. We'll wrestle.
Full contact
You
OTV?
stay over. I get the helmet. I get the helmet. I get the helmet.
I've been working out lately. I feel pretty strong.
But yeah, listen, I'm excited. If we can do it, we can do one last WrestleMania on this show.
Let's
Casey
go.
and Jacob versus me and Kinner.
I did like that the graphic said
we
WrestleMania
will arm wrestle
2.
at some point today,
I
too,
like
right?
that said WrestleMania 2
Yeah.
because the first one already happened.
And I lost. I lost. So one thing I've learned about this show is when I don't have a good counter, I just result to very childish and then like not knowing what the hell I'm saying half the time, and it's just well, you've been there. So
It's true.
it is what it is. So we have what? Did you find more stingers, more show
did.
memorabilia?
Oh
Casey, I sent 2 more videos as well. I was emailing you that. But whenever we can get that to the next segment as well.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is the final episode of Off the Bench, at least for the time being. I know it's Jacob's final show. Might be my final show. I have no idea what the future holds as far as that's concerned. But Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliott, Jacob with you here on this Tuesday. So we're kind of jogging down memory lane a lot throughout the show while trying to sprinkle some Reds and Bengals. And we got to get to the Bengals because there's a couple bums who didn't show up to practice today.
That's right. And Adam Schefter let us know about it.
Schefter was all excited.
Oh, boy.
should I get the super chat in before we forget?
Yeah.
Get more.
Especially
Keep
the most
going.
recent one.
So this is, I'm going to say this. This is a direct quote from somebody who paid us money. So how should I think about phrasing this one?
I think you read the super chats for a reason, so I'm not going to.
Okay. So Drew Garrison, $2. He says, call Tom and then tell him Brian Kelly
Coached at Notre Dame before LSU.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
Got to read the super chat, Kenner, if you want to understand that one.
Yeah.
Is there more in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't feel like I should say it on
No, probably not.
Is it political?
No.
I would
No.
read it.
It's political in terms of this show.
Politically incorrect?
It's one of the biggest
Yeah.
debates maybe in the show's history.
I think there was a large argument about it. It was Tom versus Everett, I believe, was the argument.
Kenner, you've never argued with Everett in the chat before, have you?
Not even once. Not even once. I mean, he's a member of my fan club. I get fan mail from him every day, it seems. Nonetheless,
Did
shout
you
out
see
to
it?
Everett. I did not. I'm still looking. I feel like I'm 80 years old.
$2 from Drew Garrison. I've given this show like $10,000. Read my words. Drew, I want to read them. I just, I can't. I can't. But we'll call Tom and we'll tell him.
Should we call him now?
No, I don't think we should call him.
He's probably asleep.
Probably is
He
asleep.
just got off work.
I'm still scrolling. Give me a moment.
Just go, Kenner. Just go to the top thing and go hit live chat, and then go to fan funding.
This is the worst segment of radio ever.
Well, here's the thing for our radio listener today. I apologize.
Number one, first and foremost, we are sorry.
Yeah, the radio. We thank ESPN 1410 very, very much for allowing us to be on, and this has been a very, very fun time.
Boy Wonder, if you can't find it, just told you.
Roughly.
Told me what?
Right there in his most recent chat, what the super chat said.
Yeah. Oh, that's not that big a deal.
Okay.
You can say it. I'm not going to stop you.
As an ex-video student, it does have a special place in my heart.
He just said nothing controversial was said. All that was said was someone died on Brian Kelly's watch.
That's
That is
fair.
correct.
That is 100% fair.
That is correct. Windy day.
Very windy.
Scissor lift.
That's
All facts.
get all facts.
Should have held on.
Well,
Then you lose it. Then you lose me.
Final show.
Final show. Casey.
What you got?
no, this has got to be dealer's choice if he's running the intro.
Yeah,
Or did you send him video?
I was just saying play something. But this is
We got, but not the J one. The last year's intern. We got to save that one for later, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got. Let's do an OG. Let's do an OG
Yeah.
thing here. Let's react to the old intro of Off the Bench.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Here we go. They're going to kick the field goal. It'll be Jason Gingell out of the hole to Mesco.
Look at
What a
Tom.
guy.
Young Tom. Love it.
Young Tom Brady.
This is a classic. This is bringing back.
We got a new Chatterbox Red.
Chatterbox Reds is a hefty.
Appalachian State has stunned the college
I mean, if we had this long of an intro, we could have started at 10 every day, and still
We would have been fine.
started
Yeah.
on time. By the time we would have been ready to actually start talking. This is
Live from Chatterbox
And there's a
Sports
countdown.
And there's a 10-second
Studios,
countdown.
it's
That's
Off the Bench with Tom Brenneman.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
well done.
That's good stuff right there.
What else we got?
We want to keep rolling. Keep rolling with some of the cool little things.
Give me one more.
Give me him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give me that bad boy.
All right.
Give me.
This is one of my favorite all-time segments. The Ham and Eggers.
It's that time of the show, the Ham and Eggers. These guys are great. Trust me, I would know. I introduce all the best segments.
the news of the day. The Ham and Eggers.
That's the best one.
Who did that voice?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump himself.
That was Donald. They
Yeah.
got him. They got him.
We had a bigger budget back then.
Yeah.
In fact, that's where our entire budget went. And there you
Correct.
go.
And last show.
One of my favorite ones. I don't know if he has it queued up or not. Yes, this one. Before I started doing the show.
Yes.
Before I started doing the show, one of the funniest things I'd ever seen was what Casey has queued up right here.
I loved this one so much we brought it to Chatterbox Bengals.
I hate that we didn't admit this at all during this last year. Maybe it could have saved the show if we would have used it more. But this is my favorite one right here.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from.
What's hilarious?
What was that?
What's hilarious about that is Casey and I were going through like videos to put
Your face on?
my face on, and the only video of Steve singing that song was some weird firework clip in the background, and we just never changed it.
Yeah,
It was
we
just
never.
that somebody edited on a firework, and we're like, we'll just leave the firework in the
That's
envelope.
good. No, that's good. I'm glad.
All right. Well, off the bench, take a radio break here. And then we'll get back to sports for a little bit. Then we got some more super chats, I think, that we'll get back to. We got some more clips that we'll jump into as well. But we'll talk about the Cincinnati Bengals because Adam Schefter, you could tell the season is, well, it's not almost here. That's the sad thing. But there's at least football content to dive into. A lot of guys reporting to practice today. A couple guys who are not reporting to practice. And, of course, Adam Schefter, Bengals Insider, has it all covered for you. We'll discuss when we come back. More off the bench next. All right, Off the Bench, Chatterbox Sports on YouTube, 1410 ESPN Radio in Dayton. Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliot, and Jacob. If you're just jumping on. By the way, shout out to Casey again. He's out on paternity leave, but we reached out to him, said, hey, don't want to make you come into work when you're supposed to be off, but we really appreciate if you can come in and do one final show.
Casey's eldest child. I'm Casey's eldest child. So
That's right.
His last day. I mean, he babysat me for a whole year on Mac and JT before I came back to Chatterbox full time.
That's right. I wanted to make sure I had an eye on. I kept an eye out on him and made sure that he wasn't getting in any trouble.
Yeah.
Because we saw the talent there. We wanted to bring it in. Just had to develop it. Had to nurture it, guide it.
Mac and JT was a once a week 3-hour show that Casey and I broke down the entirety of the NFL. And if you missed it, go back and watch it because those things were long.
They were long. Yeah, they were long. And it was also probably the busiest time we've ever had at Chatterbox, where we were doing the Bearcat Bash. We were doing the Friday night games at Moeller. Elliot, do you remember that?
I do remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
And we were doing
GCL, baby.
We were doing man, I'm blanking on the name of the show, but we had the film breakdown. That show.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Kyle Caskey.
Yeah, Kyle Caskey.
Coach Caskey.
Yeah, there was a lot going on then. But
Casey, can we throw it to one of my earliest shows? I remember when I first got on the show, and I'm sure we'll get to some sports talk in a second. When I was first on the show, I remember I tried to just be as funny as possible. I tried to be a bit man, and I think I've continued that role. But I remember the first few weeks I was on it, I was like, let's just see how big of a clown I can be. So I said, hey, Chad, if you get to 100 likes, I will take a pie to the face. And this is the video.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, no pain. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. There we go.
There it is.
All right. The boss had to come clean up the mess. Literally and figuratively. I don't get paid to clean up the mess. Keep that shot. That's where we're going to go. Saying goodbye today. Thanks to all. Elliot, you're a good sport, my man. Yeah. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless.
The hair stayed pretty intact for that.
There's few things more consistently visually appealing than watching someone get pied.
It's a good time.
It delivers every time.
It's a good time.
So funny.
But to his credit, it's an actual pie. A lot of people just get like
the whipped cream. Yeah. No.
That's like
I think we had that debate.
We did.
Actual pie or whipped cream.
Well, that might be the first time I've seen someone actually get pied with an actual pie.
You know,
what happened once other time on this show?
Yeah, we tried to. Before Elliot, there was another guy that got pied in the face, and the reason why we didn't go with the whipped cream is because if you get those whipped cream ones, they're usually in the freezer. So when you go and buy a freezer pie and you try to pie someone in the face, it's really just throwing
attempted murder.
Yeah, poor Seo broke his nose.
Oh, that's a real story.
Oh, yeah, Reed pied him with a fully frozen pie and broke his nose.
And Reed's pretty buff. He's strong. He didn't just go softly.
So I haven't told Reed this yet. My grandparents, I was talking to my grandparents the other day, and Reed was on the show last week, and they're like, I really like Reed. And they love Reed when he's on the show, and they like to look at his shorts. They like to look at it because if you know the show, he's got a little short shorts. And now they've started calling him muscles. They're like, he's really gotten in shape. He's got a bunch of muscles. He looks ripped. And I'm like, Grandma, Grandpa, wow, I can't believe you're saying all this. I swear to God, if you call my grandma and grandpa right now, they call him Muscles. They say, where's Muscles? I'm like, he's working. I don't know what you want me to say.
He's uplifted.
He is. Huge. I swear to God, they call him Muscles now.
Well, Muscles.
They call Jacob the Beard.
Nice. Nice. No beard, dude. Let's trim now.
Well, the mustache now.
Yeah. I thought I'd give it a go. It's getting nice outside. I usually did a mustache at school.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have it for the last few shows.
Yeah, I like that.
Muscles will be here in a little bit. And that chair. So we talked yesterday about the layout of the show. My
so
OCD,
funny and poor.
It drives me nuts about this setup here because that table should be centered with the Chatterbox Sports logo. Elliot should be to the left of it. Jacob should be to the right of it. But we've always kept that chair there for Muscles because the bit at the beginning was that I kicked him off the show from little bit, I actually thought he truly believed that, which was very uncomfortable when I first started, to be quite honest. But I think we're good now. We became really close when I went and got hammered with him at the first four to cheer on Xavier. There was nothing cooler than watching Xavier win at UD Arena, so I enjoyed that.
Him being a Xavier fan and you hating UD.
Dayton. It was
it worked.
Friendship
worked well.
It was perfect. So, but nonetheless, Muscles will be here with us coming in.
The best part about the third chair on this stage that forces us to be uncentered is it so clearly has never been sat in, and it doesn't have a microphone.
Correct.
So even if on a day like today, Reed wanted to sit in that chair, he really couldn't.
No,
and he clearly never has, based on the cushion difference.
The chair is brand new. The chair is brand new. And everybody's been scared to sit in it.
Significantly more uncomfortable than the other two.
It's supposed to look like this for the
It's a good look.
at home.
Yeah, box sports.
Box sports.
Box sports is tough.
A couple more super chats here, if I believe this is correct, just so we get this out of the way. So I believe we'll go back up to Sir Boy, $1.99. I demand the long old commercials.
Well,
we got
buddy,
those.
do I have those ready?
Do you have those?
Let's go.
Alex Unzer Bauman, $1.99. So now what am I supposed to actually work from 10A to 12P?
I've been asking the same thing.
I don't know if you do. I think you just take those 2 hours off. And Veda, member for 11 months. Hey, Elliot, do you remember what you called Deshaun Watson last year on air? Well, I don't. So
were you on air?
Well, to be fair, you didn't think you were on air.
I didn't think I was on air, all I said was that he wasn't a very good guy. That's all I said. He just wasn't a very good guy, at least from what I thought, in roughly those words.
And that was back before you used to say, "No offense, Kinner." You know,
That's
no
right.
offense.
Yeah.
I just brought up some of the court cases that may or may not have involved him. That's all.
To be fair, there wasn't many court cases. They settled before.
That's true.
There wasn't many. Get
So
your facts straight.
you're on Deshaun's side on that one.
I mean, my gosh.
I think you are.
I mean, how many times did it actually get to court? I mean, let's just be clear. Tomato.
Sports. Do we got any sports for the last 3 minutes of this segment?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Adam Schefter, Jacob, has been busy today. Bengals insider.
Yeah, I hate him and he sucks.
But the Bengals have given him stuff to talk about. That's the unfortunate part.
That's correct. And I liked it a lot better when I felt like it was purely hatred, but the Bengals, deserve to be in the news today. Trey Hendrickson has not shown up for mandatory minicamp. Bengals also did not get Shamar Stewart's deal done this morning, so the rookie first-round pick will not be practicing in the first day of mandatory minicamp. Casey and I were talking about it before the show, and obviously Trey Hendrickson has to deal with fines and everything else along those lines. Shamar Stewart doesn't, because obviously he's not in the NFL.
Yeah.
He hasn't signed that contract, so he can just kind of chill until they figure that out. But he's been posting on Instagram in Bengals uniforms and everything along those lines, so it feels like maybe he plans on playing when we get there, is optimistic that it gets done. I don't really know what to say at this point. This is a pretty big outlier compared to the rest of the rookies in this class and in the last few classes. So it's certainly frustrating to see with the two edge rushers for the Bengals when we know this season defensively is going to be a huge question mark for how far this team can go. Two players are going to be a huge cog in that machine, not there on the first day of minicamp.
Now, players usually get fined for not reporting to mandatory OTAs. Like, how do you fine a rookie?
You can't.
Who's not under contract. So he's in a better spot than. But now
100%.
Hendrickson's having money. He's being fined.
He is.
Well, that's why.
They could hypothetically waive it, which I assume they would if he extends.
If they extend it, or it could be at the end. Hey, we're not going to get an extension done, but I tell you what, if you get your ass out there week one, we'll go ahead and we'll waive all the fees, or not fees, but the fines from missing OTAs. Maybe that's how this gets done. I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum. It's just like the T. Higgins thing. We couldn't wait for it to get done, and then here we are talking about another contract issue. We've talked about this. You think he misses a game? Do you think he has the guts to sit out all of OTAs, all of camp, and maybe miss a game or two?
Well, did you guys see the fines for the 3 days that he'd be missing? How much it is? Schefter put out another tweet saying, players on veteran deals, including Trey Hendrickson and the TJ Watt, or skipping mandatory minicamp, are subject to these fines. Day one is $17,000. Day two is $34,000, basically $35,000. And day three is $53,000, and 3 days totaling $105,000 in total fines.
That's a chunk of change.
It's a lot of money.
That's a chunk of change to not play football under a contract you signed.
Yeah, Kinner kind of just said it. I cannot wait for it all just to end. It has to end eventually. I don't think he has the guts to miss a game. I don't see how that works for him. Again, we said this on the show. There's been one player who sat out the entire season because of this, and it didn't exactly go well for him.
Right.
So if he wants to go that route, it's probably not going to go the way that he thinks it's going to go. I understand that he's frustrated. He thinks he's getting underpaid. It's tough. You signed the contract. You got a year. Play it. Go and make $1 trillion with somebody else. But he owes us this year because he signed the contract.
Another Bengals player not at mandatory minicamp but not holding out was finally released yesterday after waiting quite some time. Germaine Pratt was cut from the Bengals yesterday. Something that we talked about this, 4 months ago when he demanded a trade, and we all kind of saw this as the light at the end of the tunnel because based on last year and honestly really most of the film outside of that playoff run and a few clutch plays, he hasn't been a player that I necessarily expect the Bengals to get a ton of draft capital back for, especially on that contract. So he's been released yesterday, and I saw a lot of sentiment. I asked Casey about it earlier today. People feel like the Bengals wronged Germaine Pratt.
Yeah.
I've seen that kind of talked about pretty loudly, and I understand the sentiment, basically saying if you're going to release him earlier, give him a chance to sign with the team, maybe even before the draft, so he knows where to end up and things along those lines. But why wouldn't the Bengals wait as long as they could for a trade partner to try to get something in return? Yeah. I don't necessarily understand the sentiment that you owe someone time in a business where you're paying them money to be on your team. You wait and see if you can get something back from him. I have no problem with how the Bengals handled this, and I'm extremely grateful for Germaine Pratt and everything he did in stripes. One of, if not the greatest memory of my sports life, the interception against the Raiders. I was in that stadium, cried very real tears, sat in those seats for a long time after that game ended. It was incredible to break that 31-year drought, and it wouldn't have happened without Germaine Pratt. So very, very thankful for him and the time in stripes, but I didn't necessarily understand the mistreatment thought process.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. And by the way, Germaine Pratt, congratulations to you on Numbies on that tweet. By the way,
thank you.
Germaine Pratt gave the Bengals one of the best moments of our franchise's history. Every single Bengals fan remembers where they were when that happened. I was in Newport. I was in Newport watching that game, and I don't fully understand the rationale behind why it ended this way. I think it could have ended a different way, but. Nonetheless, I mean, I think you had to end it at some point when he requests the trade, and I just feel like there should have been somebody out there that would have taken Germaine Pratt. I could be wrong, but I feel like somebody would have been available to make that trade with the Bengals.
The short list the list of teams that can sign him is very, very long. Casey, what did you say? How many teams can't sign Germaine Pratt?
There's only like 3 teams that theoretically can't sign Germaine Pratt because every other team in the NFL has at least $10 million of cap space.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's
grasping for straws.
He's going to have plenty of opportunities. If there's a team that needs a linebacker, a veteran linebacker, he will get paid somewhere.
That's why teams I've seen linked so far are the Titans and the Colts. Both obviously have Germaine Pratt connections from Cincinnati. Brian Callahan, the head coach in Tennessee, old offensive coordinator here, and Lou Anarumo, now the defensive coordinator in Indianapolis. So could certainly see him tying back up with one of those old guys. Because, I mean, even though we talk, kind of down on Germaine Pratt based on last year, he was a captain of this defense for a long time, and he had a really, really good playoff run in there that led this team to a Super Bowl. So he's going to end up somewhere, and I don't want to say hopefully not play too well, but hopefully not too many highlights that make Bengals fans watch a hopefully average defense this year and really miss someone making big plays in the middle of the defense. Because the Bengals posted a big play compilation of Germaine Pratt today. It was about 3 minutes long of just big plays, big turnovers forced. And I know he missed a lot of tackles and stuff in between, but it felt like when you needed a play, it was Germaine Pratt that was there in the middle of the defense, whether it was stripping the ball against Travis Kelce over the middle against the Chiefs, the Dalvin Cook stripping overtime of the opener in 2024, obviously the pick against the Raiders. He was always there making a big play. So hopefully the Bengals don't miss that, and these young linebackers, Demetrius Knight, Barrett Carter, that they drafted this year can step up.
Yeah, was he a post-June 1st cut? Is that what that's counted as?
I believe so.
So you save money?
Yes, it's about $2.2 million still against the cap. Bengals will save about $6 million, if my math is correct.
So, I mean, I understood why some people were upset. Like, they just held on to him. They didn't even get anything back in return for him. But this was done just obviously to save that money.
You could have post-June 1st cut him a while ago. And just designated it as such.
So this is just another – but we could at least – I don't think they did it wrong. I just think it's another weird front office thing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. But either way, off the bench, Justin, Pearl, Casey, Elliott, and Jacob with you here. Final off the bench before the show takes a little bit of a break until the fall. We had Trace come on yesterday and make that announcement. So we're just giving it a final go here today, trying to reminisce and talk about some of the favorite memories of the show. Have a few laughs, of course, and sprinkle some sports talk like we just did in there as far as that goes. But, all right, we'll step away for a few moments. We'll get back into the Reds coming up in a bit, and then we'll close out the radio portion here shortly as well. More Off the Bench when we return.
Going in the bunker over there.
Oh,
Tommy
look
Fleetwood.
at that. Tommy Fleetwood. Let's do a live look into this shot. I can see him right over Jacob's shoulder on the TV. This is for the championship. For all the marbles. I bet it's within a foot. Keep going, baby.
Oh!
Let's
He
go!
sank it!
Let's
He
go!
sank it!
Let's go!
Let's go!
Tommy! Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood, GOAT.
That was last year at the Memorial, of course. Was that, you've been here a lot longer than I have, was that the coolest thing that we've done here with tied into this show?
Yeah.
Working with Tom.
I think that was pretty cool.
That was, and even, I mean, obviously, anywhere you're at, once you get to the Memorial, being able to do a show there for a couple days is going to be one of the coolest things you're ever able to do. Where we were with that desk, and for as long as we were able to be live, and the people we were able to see, and them, the golfers, practicing right behind us the entirety of the day, I don't think it gets much cooler than that. I mean, I went up there again this year and saw a lot of the desks. There was no desk where we were last year. Was
someone in our spot?
No.
It
doesn't seem like that's a thing that people usually get in terms of that angle, and it was incredible to be there. That was certainly one of my best memories of working here.
I loved it. Another one, when we went down, it was Reed, Casey, myself, Tom. We went down to the Banks.
Yes.
And we hosted a live off the bench. Drew Chrisman, is that his name?
Yes.
Yep.
Bengals punter. He came down, was on the show. We did a live show there. It was very, very cool. I remember it was cold. It was rainy that day, and it was just awesome. It was just awesome.
And I forgot. I mean, I wasn't there for that one, but of course, you guys went on a nice little road trip. You took the show on the road. Did you really take the show on the road? You guys just took a week off, but you went over to spring training, of course.
So Reed and those guys went on the Chatterbox Reds trip.
We cursed the Reds.
Yeah, you guys cursed the Reds. Reed and I held it down, just the two of us, when the Bengals were in the middle of their off season. And that was interesting. That was a fun time because there was a rumor circulating, and I'm sure some of you in the chat know that Reed and I were talking about this quite a bit, that Justin Jefferson was going to get traded to the Bengals, and we were going to have just the world's best offense ever created. But that never came to fruition. So,
You guys,
luckily,
please say you guys weren't one of those that. Did you guys actually think that was going to happen? No, please.
We had
come
evidence.
On, Case.
We had evidence.
Well, bring it. Let's see.
I don't want to out our insider, but we had evidence.
No, Kenner, I never thought Justin Jefferson was coming to Cincinnati.
Fair enough. Now, going back to the Memorial quick, that spot that they set us up with, because I was expecting, I'm friends with some of the guys over the Fan in Columbus, and they've been doing their shows there for years, and they have good setups. They're overlooking a lot of the course or whatever, but there's usually a bunch of trees behind them, and it's still a pretty backdrop. It's fine. But they told Trace and I, when we went down for the meeting to get it all set up, they told us that we couldn't have any shots in the background of any of the playable course, including the putting green and, of course, the driving range, all of that. None of that was permitted to be used in any kind of video, but they set us up and gave permission for us to have our back there. I mean, to have all those golfers there right behind us, that was the coolest setup. And then, of course, working with Tom there. I know we kind of got numb to just working with Tom. Tom's just Tom to us, but that's still such a rare very cool opportunity to start working with Tom. Tom working here, and then,
And Elliot got to meet his hero thanks to Tom Urban Meyer.
That's right.
I did. Herbs. But, that was the day I met you.
Correct.
Well, no, I knew some of you, but I met you.
I hadn't met you before,
and that was when Grip It and Rip It started for a blink of an eye.
Correct. That, man, I miss Rip It and Rip It. You could say a lot of things about this show, but Grip It and Rip It, we gripped it and ripped it.
We did. Nobody ripped it and gripped it harder than you two did, and it rhymed with Kinner and Tissot.
It did. Kinner said that he didn't do that on purpose, and I never believed it for a second.
Nah, he had to have done it on purpose.
Never believed it for a second.
On purpose.
It was a 3-episode run. Elliot came in, did the last episode with us, killed it, and then that's when I made everyone's lives miserable by moving over to Off the Bench. But I can say maybe I am really bad at this because this is the second show that's been canceled at Chatterbox since that I've been a host of.
Well, maybe listen. I don't know. There are weird curses that have been a part of this show. Certainly, I cursed the Cincinnati Reds to never win again.
Of course,
you might have cursed Off the Bench and Grip It and Rip It. There's just weird curses in the air, and that's okay. We just get through it. I'm not worried about that at all. And by the way, while we do this show, my mind is 100 different places. If somebody can find me the clip of Reed saying "smug or pompous" and then it's a picture of Wally, if somebody can take that clip and send it our way, I think I have the screenshot, but I don't have the video. If somebody can get on that, that's another clip I'd like to show at some point. We did a show, Kinner, where it was Casey, Reed, myself, and Lindsay. And Lindsay, Lindsay would do a bit the whole show where she would try to do the intro of the show, and then she would be unable to do it.
It was Groundhog's Day.
And this was all while Trace and Sean were in a 24-hour stream of PUBG. And we did an Off the Bench while they were streaming PUBG, and one of the segments that we did was Smug or Pompous. It's one of our favorite segments. We name a person and we debate whether they're smug or they're pompous. And one of the pictures Reed had to debate was Wally. Is Wally smug or pompous? I don't know what our answer was. I was trying to find the clip, but
Wally's pompous.
We got to find that clip.
Aren't smug and pompous synonyms?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe that's the bit.
I just want to know the difference between the two.
It's buy or sell, but like buy or purchase.
Correct. A super chat from Big C. $9.99. It's Big C, also Viking guy. I'm more of a podcast listener, but wanted to wish all the boys the best. If it might be the last time, thank you all for the entertainment and good vibes. Love you, Big C. Love seeing you down at the ballpark. Another one of our best moments was going down to the ballpark for our night at the Chatterbox Live at the ballpark. It was awesome. Didn't get to finish that game, but it was very cool to see everybody down there and support us in the riverboat. So that rocked. Outside of that, we do have. I want to give a quick shout out to the interns of the show, Pearl, Jimmy, Pearl's not really an intern, but Pearl is on the show. I'm again very sorry it was for a short period of time. Pearl, you made your stamp on the show, and I want to say thank you sincerely, Pearl, Jimmy, Lindsay. Myself and Jacob technically are in that group as well. So thank you to everybody, and I believe we do have Casey. I think we have a message from our good friend Jimmy.
Yep.
Because last year, if you remember, Jimmy would read the lineups, and he did such a good job at it. I wanted to bring him on for one last lineup read. So, if you will, Casey, let's bring Jimmy on.
What's up, Off the Bench crew? Elliot reached out to me and told me that today is sadly the last day of Off the Bench. And I was thinking about all the awesome times I had with you guys last summer. And one thing I wanted to do for you guys was actually read the Reds lineup card that David Bell sent me for the upcoming series this weekend in Detroit with the Detroit Tigers. Got it right here. So I'm going to read that for you guys. This will probably be the Saturday game lineup card. I think Friday they're going with a little better one. Game's a little bit more winnable.
I told him to
do
tomorrow.
Here we go. For your visiting Cincinnati Reds, leading off in center field, we got TJ Friedel. Boo, boo. In the 2-hole, the third baseman, Santiago Espinal. In the 3-hole,
No
the
boos
shortstop,
for Espinal, just a dramatic
Ellie
pause.
De La Cruz. In the 4-hole, the second baseman, Gavin Lux. In the 5-hole, the first baseman, Spencer Steer. Boo, boo.
There we go.
Batting 6th, the catcher, Jose Trevino. Boo. Batting 7, the left fielder,
Such a quiet.
Garrett Hampson. Batting 8th, the right
Such a
fielder,
long pause.
Connor Joe. Boo, boo.
Why does Connor Joe? What did Connor Joe do?
And batting 9th, for the visiting Cincinnati Reds, the designated hitter, Jamer Candelario. And the Cincinnati Reds are managed by Terry Francona. So that will be the lineup for the game next Saturday, I believe. 1 o'clock game here in Detroit. Hope you guys enjoyed that series. I'll enjoy it as well. Thank you guys. I enjoyed Off the Bench very much. Sad to see it go. And I heard Jacob, it's his last day at Chatterbox. Very disappointed to see him go. I was surprised they fired me, but I'm even more surprised that they fired you. You're going to do great things. I'll see you guys soon. Good luck.
Thanks, Jimbo. Man, what a lineup. What a lineup. He has to lead the country in time per name when reading a lineup.
Oh.
I mean, it's remarkable. But that was exactly what we wanted.
Apparently our mics were on that whole time. But I told Jimmy, can you do like tomorrow's lineup? He's like, next Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
And he's wearing a Detroit hat.
It wouldn't have made sense to boo in a Cincinnati hat.
He's a Tigers fan. That's why he was doing it.
That's fitting, I guess. We'll play the Tigers next.
So we had Pearl do the lineups. I think one of the first couple shows that
That's
she was
right,
here.
We did.
That was Jimmy.
I understand
that we told
what
you
you were
about.
saying now.
The bar. I mean, you soared over that sucker.
That was too good.
We love you, Jimmy.
But that 3-minute lineup, I've done PA before, and it's actually a little nerve-wracking because they tell you want about 90 seconds to get the whole lineup in. But you got to use the full 90 seconds. You don't want to have a lot of time to where everyone's just kind of standing there awkwardly, whatever. But like Jimmy, there's no way in hell he'd be able to do a lineup before a game. Especially with all that booing. I don't think they'd appreciate the boo.
Jimmy's in the chat watching right. Jimmy, we love you.
Jimmy the
we
man.
do.
No, and
I did tell Jimmy to be funny, and he made that funny.
It was funny. We laughed.
So that's good for Jimmy.
So you guys got fired?
I guess.
He also said David Bell.
He did.
Yeah.
Does he know? And then he said the Reds are managed by Terry Francona.
Yeah, I don't know why he said David Bell.
He did like bringing up that the Reds got swept by the Tigers last year. Might happen again this weekend. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure.
we can't forget Elliot did skip Jimmy's birthday.
I did skip Jimmy's birthday, and I also said that was a must-win series, I think. And I made it a big deal. I think I made it the bit last year that the Tigers were terrible.
They're like the best team in baseball.
Yeah,
this year?
and they're just really, really good. So I listen. I've jinxed a few things on this show.
Elliot Curse?
Elliot Curse.
Some would say.
Elliot Curse for sure.
All right. Well,
do we take a break? How far into the segment are we?
no idea.
Casey, we got any other videos we can play?
Do we want to send it out, or do we want to stay here for a little bit?
I'll just stay here for a little bit. I don't think any of us have
All right,
any
so
idea.
let's run some ads then.
Okay, let's run some
that's
ads.
probably
That's
a good
point.
idea.
Yeah, let's run some ads. Okay.
At United Dairy Farmers, we've perfected freshness in our family bakery, where we use only the finest ingredients, like thick, high-quality glazes on our signature donuts, before delivering them fresh from bakery to store every day. UDF, made for you.
If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, proudly sponsoring high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross, Ohio. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun.
There's no way.
can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Oh, yeah.
Check out our fresh arrivals at Jake Sweeney Used Cars. Over 250 used vehicles weekly. All makes, all models. From economy to luxury. Jake Sweeney, the original used car superstore.
Yeah, those were our ads, and then I would then come on here and go, the Bengals Report is brought to you by Encore Technologies. Encore Technologies provides IT solutions for a data-centered world with a suite of services from mobile computing to desktop to data center, supporting both centralized and work-from-home computing modules to improve efficiency and
productivity.
That's right, fellas. Visit encore.tech. The path to innovation begins here. And let me tell you about this new premium alkaline water, Pawnee water. And boy, do I have to tell you, this stuff tastes great.
Do you not have a bottle over there?
I don't have a bottle.
You guys used to toss it back and
Yeah,
forth.
but see, the thing about Pawnee water that, I mean, Pearl probably doesn't even know. When you go to the gas station, you open the fridge, right? All the water's in the fridge. There's only one that you know for sure doesn't have any rocks in it.
That's right.
And that's because of the natural limestone filtration.
It filtrates
it. gets those rocks out.
Correct.
It's rock-free water.
Yeah, it's unlike any other artificial processing that other brands use. The result is a healthy alkaline water.
That's right.
And some say the best tasting water in the world. Visit Pawnee Water at PAHHNIwater.com where you can buy this great tasting water. By the way, that completes the whole ad segment. All those are free ads. Usually we don't do free ads on this show, but today is a special day. So free ads today. Yay.
That's right. That's free ads.
And
free ads.
Had we had more paid ads, Off the Bench would be going nowhere. And we'd be with you daily, Monday through Friday from 3, or no, I'm on from 3 to 5. Damn it, ruined it. 10 a.m. to noon.
10 a to 12p.
There you go. All right, Off the Bench, second to last segment here on the radio. We wrap up the radio portion of this when we come back. More Off the Bench when we return for some paid ads this time.
Know exactly what it is.
It's
oh yeah,
making good on your promise
this week. You're right.
Yeah, we got to get Todd out there. Wait, you want?
All right, here we go.
Wait, we need some music or something, or
hang on.
Wait, yeah, we got music now.
Start off here, right?
Yeah, that.
Start off here, and then we get this going.
Wow.
Right? Is that good?
Not that bad.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. Why don't we
do
little
one
more,
more time.
little more rhythm, little more rhythm.
So we got the breathing going like this.
Yep. There, we can't hear you, but that's...
You weren't expecting that, Kenner.
No, there was a lot of different ways I thought that was
Oh, look at that.
but good was
Wow.
one of them. That's pretty
Pretty
solid.
solid.
That's pretty good, yeah.
On other shows, where
Why not? Why not? Not bad.
That's pretty good. Now your
Bad.
turn.
No. I got to stretch.
Did you follow that up?
Then you got
stretch.
to, I'm kind of short. Then you got to get the cameras all rearranged and all that. A lot of people have been making comments about my height in some of the pictures that we've shared from the show. I'm not used to people being surprised that I'm short.
That's fair. That's fair. You definitely have the benefit of when almost everyone meets you, you're sitting in a
Yeah.
chair and you're the same height as everyone else on like a show. So it definitely does startle some people. I feel like every time we've posted a picture as the group, it's been the same responses.
Every time. And by the way, I went to go post pictures of the group today, and I'm like, no picture of Casey. No, none.
No,
So
he took the picture
he
of
took
us
the
and
picture.
Tito, which
Yeah.
was such a mistake.
It was a bad. He could have just said, "Hey, can somebody take this picture?" Or we should have said that. I should have stopped it. In hindsight,
But we got the team photo all holding the bat, So
Yes,
in the
yes.
Reds clubhouse. That's pretty cool.
that is cool.
As we wrap up things too, real quick, I do want to say, Pearl just joined us, 2 weeks ago?
About 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
3.5, and it's been, obviously you've jumped in at the last stretch. I know we talked about it yesterday, but we do appreciate you being patient and jumping in and just being a part of the different changes that have happened to the show. I mean, Elliot leaving the show, then coming back for a bit, then leaving yesterday, saying his final goodbye. Now he's back today. Casey leaving for a month, but then he comes back, of course, for the final show. Jacob quitting the show, and then me being run out. So, I mean, there's just a lot been going on, but we appreciate you being patient and jumping in. We told her day one, you got to interrupt. You got to get your opinion in there. You got to be assertive. She's done all of that, so we appreciate you, especially on today where everyone's sharing a bunch of memories. You've just jumped in, but you've been cool about it, so thank you. We appreciate it. Nonetheless, I don't know how much time we have left for the radio side, but
but we'll play the clips, the rest of the remaining clips for the after show. We got a couple bits. We got a lot of bits to do.
We got muscles coming in too.
The show might go a little long today on the YouTube side, but I kind of did it yesterday. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every single one of you who listened, whether that be podcast or on the radio. Anybody who watched and didn't comment. I have a couple friends, my grandparents, my dad, everybody out there who watches and just doesn't like to be in the chat. The chat's a weird place. And then I want to thank the chat because the chat made the world for us. It literally gives us something to do. You let us live out our dream here, so my dream specifically. And you guys being a part of the show for as long as you guys have, since the very beginning, since before I got here, and you'll be here after I'm gone. You guys made this show what it is. And every single day, you never stopped coming. No matter who was the host, no matter what we were doing, you guys were always here. So, chat, I don't want to just list off every single one of your names, even though you all deserve it. In the case that I forget anybody during that, I'm going to say just thank you to all of you, sincerely. I said it yesterday, but any time you guys came up to us at all, trust me, that made a big deal. It made a big impression on us.
I think it might be about 50% of our texts to each other. It's just
I can't tell you. I've
how excited we get.
How rarely I went to a Reds game last year with a couple friends, and a chatter came up to me and he said, "Hey man, love the show, big fan." The look that I got from my friends after that, it was a top 5 look. It was a mental screenshot I took, and it was like, this is the coolest feeling in the entire world. So you guys, sincerely, thank you. I think half of you have my address and phone number, but please don't feel free to reach out to me, talk to me. Sean Connor, I think he got our emails. I don't know how he got those emails.
To be fair, his first initial last name at Chatterbox Sports. It's not that hard.
That's true. He sent it to he only sends it to my personal one.
Okay, well then then we have a different problem.
He only sent it to my personal one. Every single one of you, you mean the world to us, and I can't thank you enough for being there every day. And whenever this show returns, we expect to see you guys there again, hopefully. So we're taking a break for now, and I again, just so much love in my heart for every single one of you. And I hope you all know that. Even the ones who were mean to me. Brian B., shout out to Brian B., OJ's Bronco. Shout out to all the ones. Some of the ones that got banned, I think, from Chatterbox. Even you guys tuning in every single day to roast us.
So when people are mean to you, we ban them.
Correct.
Those people were mean specifically to certain groups of the population that we wanted to get that conversation out of our chat.
All right, fair enough.
We got Muscles back in here right now.
There we go.
He's gonna come in. But everybody, again, I can't thank you enough for watching and tuning in every single day. It means the world to me.
Yeah, I don't need to echo everything Elliot just said, but grew up in Cincinnati, don't love anything more than the sports teams here, and for the last year plus, you guys have given us, a place to talk about all that and hang out together and, make a lot of good friends. So we appreciate that and wouldn't be possible without you guys.
All right, I know we're wrapping things up, at least on the radio side here quickly, but Casey's getting that all taken care of. Should we do the final radio segment with a Reds prediction for tonight?
I think we should.
And that's perfect timing for Muscles, who just walked in.
That is true.
Right now, as far as that goes.
Why don't you lead us off? You lead us off with a prediction.
All right, so I've gotten 2 of these predictions correct, but a lot of them wrong. But a lot of people get stuff wrong. I get stuff wrong all the time. So I'm going to say, look, the Reds, do the runs continue? Do they keep producing runs? Do they score all their runs last night in Game 1 against the Guards? I'm going to say 6-3 Reds tonight. I think they keep it 6-3 Reds, Game 2.
Okay.
Do you, well, I think we should. Yeah, you're probably right. Hold on. You didn't have it up.
Oh, you didn't have it up? Okay, sorry.
And you've won every time.
I will take the Cleveland Guardians to win the game tonight, 1-0.
I'll take the Reds 7-2 down.
Oh my God.
2-1 after 3 innings.
Oh.
They get hot late. All right, Pearl, what you got?
I was gonna do 7-2.
I mean, these shorts are absurd.
Do a little leg cross. Do the leg cross.
That might be worse.
Whoopee.
Yeah, that's worse. That's worse. These are short shorts.
Got a blanket somewhere?
Normally there's a laptop right here.
Casey, can you blur?
But
Can you blur?
I mean, you're just getting so much thigh right
Read.
It's guy thigh too. It's just nothing. I mean,
Oh,
it's
man.
reflecting
We might
light.
have
You
to
guys
change
might go blind.
The
rating.
echo, too. That's a meaty slap.
Like
right
that?
You want a backpack on it?
Paid cheerleading backpack.
Man.
But hey, guys.
The rating for this show might have to change. I
Yeah,
think.
Drew
At
said
least-
not safe for work.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Let's put that up for a secend.
Hang on. Hang on while Casey does some. You guys want my prediction?
Yeah, I want it.
Guardian. No, Reds 4.
Oh?
Reds 4. Guards. Who's pitching tonight?
Abbott.
10. Guardians 10. No, it's not July, so Andrew Abbott will continue to pitch well. That's better. There we go.
Smaller, Casey. You don't need all that extra space.
Yeah. I would go even smaller. Smaller.
Guys, smaller. Come on.
Smaller.
I
Yeah,
stop
right
with the
there.
space. I think we can go. Casey, I think you got more wiggle room there, buddy.
That looks like he's batless. That's a worse rating. No. I can't wait for a prospective job to see this someday. Just blurring out. Like I'm just hanging right now, right here live on the show. Please, I didn't like when you guys were just saying smaller, smaller.
He dressed like it was radio.
This is still radio.
This is radio only, but not the case. But that does wrap it up for us on radio. So you said 7-2, Pearl?
Yeah. I think Abbott's gonna get right back on that horse.
All right. There you go. What about you, Casey? Wrap us up on radio.
I'm gonna go 5-3 Reds.
5-3 Reds. A lot of Reds positivity, which is something that everyone said the show does not provide. So who would have thunk?
So ha.
We showed them. All right, the show continues on the stream, but that does wrap it up for us on radio. And hopefully when the show comes back in the fall, we'll bring the show right back to 1410 ESPN Radio, of course. But that does wrap it up. The Jocelyn Kinner Show coming up next until tomorrow. Until the fall.
The fall.
Off the bench, 1410 ESPN Radio, Chatterbox Sports on YouTube.
Love you guys.
Hours.
Okay.
Speaking of time, Wally.
Wally is smug. Wally is smug.
Is Wally smug or pompous?
He's totally smug. He's 100% smug.
Wally is the most smug Disney character or Pixar character without question. Without question.
The audacity to think that you can clean the entire world is such a smug and pompous mission that, yes, Wally is clearly both smug and pompous. Casey?
So what's funny about that is finding that clip, playing the game smug or pompous, which, Kenner, you don't know this.
No.
I deemed Brock Purdy both smug and pompous.
But we asked the question earlier. Yeah, of course he's both if he's one.
Correct. It's the same thing. That's the best part about it. Right before I asked if Wall-E was smug or pompous, I asked if Pope Francis was smug or pompous, and Elliot deemed our Pope, our Pontifex, as both smug and pompous.
If we would have known that, we would have used that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, listen.
Right.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he was just a nice guy. But listen. At the time, he seemed a little smug.
He didn't wear the traditional stuff.
Yeah,
That's true.
Seems pretty smug and pompous.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
I still have to do it?
Yeah, I think you still got to do it.
Yeah.
Read, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Justin. Thanks for. I finally get to be on this show. You kicked me off a year ago.
Build a mic.
What?
You have to build a mic.
I do have to build a mic. I don't like this. I don't like holding the mic because it feels weird. I'd much rather.
You should stand up.
Well, I can go over
Command
here.
the floor, walk around a little bit.
We'll just get if we just get a dark back bar right here, we'll just do 5 minutes of stand up. We'll just do open mic
Put
night.
Laugh Factory back there.
Kenner's heckling me back. Yeah, just put the
Kramer impersonation.
Yeah. Why did we go there? That was the first one we go to. But yeah, it's good to be on the show. I didn't know if I was ever going to be on the show once you kicked me off a year ago. I'm glad that you actually thought that I hated you.
Yeah, I did. I told the guys, I'm like, does he actually think because I honestly had nothing to do with that. We added a third damn chair. And it took a whole year and you're finally sitting there.
Saddest sentence in the English language. Yeah. Third chair, never sat in.
It is. It was. I sat in one of your guys' chairs when I did the show last week. And it was it's
startling difference.
Much different than this chair.
This chair you can't sit in.
It's brand new.
It's
brand new.
Yeah.
It's got some reinforcement here, but you know what? Maybe we'll wear it in on the last day.
Okay, that's a good call.
I hope so.
That's a good call.
By the way, so we got a couple things left to do before we end this one. We have Jacob's top 10 chat power rankings.
I caved a little bit.
You
did 15?
I did 12.
Okay. You had to do honorable mentions.
I didn't. I'm not doing honorable mentions.
Oh, you just did top 12.
I made the 10-12.
Elliot would do 40.
I would.
Elliot would do it to a point where if he didn't say your name, he felt bad.
I felt really bad.
Because he would legitimately do everyone.
I felt really, really
It was
bad.
honorable mention for everyone. The honorable mention page would be 20 people.
Casey would have to do 3 separate lower thirds for honorable mentions.
Yeah, legitimately every single name. Casey, their Spirit Cat brought up when we played Madden, and I would just fire Casey's character every single day. Yeah. That was a moment that honestly, it's one of my favorite moments.
I'm looking for your press conference right now.
Reed and I just did animal sounds, I think, for one of the press conferences.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Probably shouldn't honestly play that one.
Yeah, we let loose. That was.
We got to remove the press conferences.
It was good. We traded away Baker Mayfield.
There was problems with Baker.
For personnel reasons.
Yeah. He wasn't facilitating.
He didn't like the personnel.
Right.
The personnel. What else? What other bits have we not done yet today? Reed's top 5 we haven't done.
Do you have a Reed's 5?
I thought about it, but it sounds like you guys are doing chat power rankings. I mean, I could talk crap about the Reds if you want.
Well, that's kind of what we were hoping.
I think that's what you were just going to do.
Yeah. What was the best top 5? The top 5 things to do at Reds Fest, and the number
was good.
The number 1 was get crawled. Number 1 was you just come in there with some object from your house and you start trading with Nick Kroll, and then all of a sudden he owns your house and is married to your wife. You just get crawled.
I think the crosstown shootout one was good too. I forget what happened in the crosstown shootout one, but I remember laughing at that one. God. I was going to say this too. I was going to go do a weather report. No more weather report.
Nate's asking for a Mount Rushmore of off the bench moments.
Oh, that's good. That's not a stolen bit.
No other podcast does that bit.
Mount Rushmore of off the bench moments.
I think Smirk has to be on there.
I would say Kinner tossing shit in the studio is number 1.
The super chat we got earlier from Drew Garrison's on there.
Yeah, the one from Drew Garrison absolutely is up there. That's one that you actually remember.
I have those screenshots in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll find them later. But that's certainly one of them. I really do think I think when we went down to the banks, that was really, really fun.
Memorial has to be on there if you're not doing negative moments.
I really liked. I thought that the show when we did live while they were playing PUBG, that's my favorite show that we've ever done.
Really?
That was my favorite because we were just goofballs for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was a clown show. I mean, that was just an absolute. We would just rerun the intro 25 times.
Yeah, that was my favorite show. That was my favorite show because it wasn't. I don't think that was for anyone but us.
No,
that day we were entertaining ourselves, and it was just like, this is for us today.
You know what's crazy? We had guests on that day too. We brought on Paul, and I think we brought on Parker that day.
Nice.
We had 2 guests on that show. But that was a really good one. I'd have to go back in the archives and look at some of my favorite.
Reed invited me on the show one time when he was hosting, and I was excited to come back on the show. And then I found out it was just because he wanted to accuse me of being someone in the chat.
Being Sean Connor.
Being Sean Connor.
Ooh, the Sean Connor mystery.
The Sean Connor mystery is a good one.
That is a good one. Then we found out.
It's not a mystery.
Well, it's not a mystery.
Nor is it that exciting.
I do feel bad for everyone accused of being Sean Connor. Most specifically, I put out a 9-minute video accusing Paul of being Sean Connor. I had research. I had evidence. This is why the judicial system in America might not be perfect.
I will say it was good to see both Sharon Peters and Paul in the chat today.
I don't know if Paul was. Do you think Paul was Sharon Peters?
There's a pretty good correlation there.
Okay. I have inside sources that Sharon Peters isn't who we think it is, and that's shocking to me. We have another super chat real quick. A Big C. $4.99 RIP rated R Quiplash shows. Those were our favorite shows.
And sadly, you can't go back and watch them.
No, you cannot.
They're all gone.
You cannot. There's some of them still left over.
Not the rated R ones.
Yeah, the rated R ones I've tried to clean up. DFI. I don't know who DFI is. $10 super chat. Did Casey ever move his car?
We did. We did that.
Reed
right
put his
before
foot
I
down
left.
on that one.
I actually somehow I felt bad about that. I thought I was helping you guys out. I was like, "Hey, let's move this car before Sawyer comes," and then I felt bad because I made it happen in one day. Well, it actually took 3 days. I said we're doing it on Wednesday, and then we did it on Friday.
Casey, I'm going to send a link to you. This was one of my favorite moments in Off the Bench, and I hate to do it the long way, but I'm gonna do it via Twitter. I think is that the easier way?
That's fine. I also went back and was listening to one of your press conferences as Mr. P. Water.
Yeah.
There's no way we can play that over.
Yeah. In fact, I'm glad we brought that up because that one's going to get deleted too.
Yeah. A lot of those are going to have to get deleted. Yeah.
Casey, I tweeted it or I DM'd it in the Twitter thing.
We should have tweeted all of these clips from the C-Box Media burner today.
We should have.
We should have.
My favorite
the
thing
2
is
followers of that just don't know.
I'm one of them.
Are you?
Yeah, I follow them, and when it comes up on my feed, I normally comment on it. I was like, "Good video," or something like that every time. There's 2 followers, and one of them's me.
Nice.
Who's the guy on YouTube that every day, no matter what?
Daniel Myers.
He's the best.
Show. Daniel Myers is the best. Love you, Daniel.
Every
Myers.
Chatterbox Bengals as well.
I don't know if he's ever been in the live chat,
but he comments after every video.
Every show
and video.
Every show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's roll the clip, Casey.
That
whenever
ticker
you got
is
it.
wildly
different. The video quality of this is not great.
Well, it's not going to be good. It was from my Facebook account, so.
Oh no! Hang on.
Hold on.
Whoop.
Everybody, calm down.
There we go. No, nothing. There's no audio.
There's got to be audio on that clip.
Why is there no audio?
There has to be audio. There has to be audio. The audio is the best part of it.
That's an all-time.
Well, you want to mimic it instead of the audio?
Here we go.
Before we came on the air,
Casey,
and I asked this trio, do not take that shot. Casey?
I had already
I
already took the shot before you told me not to take it, Tom. I had already took the shot before you already told me not to.
I forgot AJ. I forgot you in the chat.
That was chat power rankings, right? Yeah. We were just high-fiving after every chat power rankings. Woo!
That was such a good crisp high five too in that video.
It was good. We used to do whoop 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 after every chat power rankings, and then I was like, "Can I get a whoop whoop for Mouse Cop?" And we go wah wah.
You were right about Mouse Cop.
Oh, we're doing what?
You were right about Mouse Cop.
Oh, we're doing the hit. I was right. You guys gave Mouse Cop too much power. Mouse Cop, I love you, but they gave you too much power in 2023.
You're right. He went mad.
Mouse Cop and Everett, they took over the show, and unfortunately, Kinner hates himself because of those two. Let's roll this clip, Casey.
Kinner, have you seen this?
No, I don't think.
Pearl, I need Kinner and Pearl to say if this was a hit.
Kinner, can you play by that?
Does that look like a hit?
That's sneaking through the middle. There's a gap between that shortstop and second baseman.
Oh my God.
That's like 110 off the bat. You hear that crack?
Did you hear the crack?
Play it again. Play it
One more
again.
time.
Tried the slider low and away.
450 dead
Right
center.
up the gut.
The best part is look, Elliott flips the bat and then is scared it's going to hit him in the head.
I did.
Watch it again. He flips it up and watches it come all the way down. He's like, "Yep, flip it up. Oh, don't hit me! Don't hit me!"
That's a hit.
The butt out single.
Oh,
You were giving
those
it all.
happen.
We were impressed with his hitting ability at the
Yeah.
media day.
Yeah.
In the batting cages.
Oh yeah.
It was the
I put
same
on a clinic.
loud crack of the bat every single time.
Are those bats you guys? And were those the bats you guys were using in that picture, the WrestleMania picture,
Yeah,
you guys?
yeah.
Those bats are legit. Those bats raked back in the day. Some Beasers.
They rocked. I mean, the guy that was throwing me pitches, he was very surprised. He was very surprised I was able to make contact with him.
Well, I'm glad they didn't give you like a BB Corp. I mean, those are old school bats. Those bats were so good that they like had to change the bats because they were hurting kids. Like kids were getting hit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why they have worse bats now.
Don't want that. Are we doing?
I think it's time, Jacob.
Is it Chat Power Rankings time?
I think you got to do it.
All right, I can do it. We got them. We got the top 12.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Oh, zoom in. Doing the old classic zoom.
Oh.
Make sure the lighting's good.
Yeah.
That's the good
It
lighting.
usually goes
Sherry.
pitch black over here when we get Elliott out of the frame. Is it going to happen?
No?
No. All right.
Last day, good
We
luck.
figured it out last day.
We got the top 12 in the chat. Do I go 1 through 12 or do I go 12 through 1?
I think
12 through, you go down to 1. You
Yeah.
go down to the
Okay.
winner.
All
Yeah.
right, all
You know, because then no one cares about, like, if you do it the other way, then you get
No
to
one
the end.
cares.
and
You
it's
No
like,
said
one
number
cares.
1. I already know the answer.
Okay. Number 12 is a personal favorite of mine that we had a great relationship in one summer teaming up against Elliott, predominantly my internship summer, but Evan Maurer. Evan Maurer is number 12. We got Jonathan India out of Cincinnati together, and I will never forget that. So he's number 12.
a whoop whoop for Evan Maurer?
A whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
There we go. Mr. Mo, there you go. 12 for the expanded college football playoffs that I love so much. Number 11 is Harrow. Harrow is here every day. He's in box lunch all the time, playing Quiplash. Quiplash legend.
He is a Quiplash legend.
Harrow comes in at 11.
11. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Harrow.
Number
Or
10,
is it
the
Harrow?
worst.
I think it's Horror.
Is it
I
Horror?
think it's Horror.
All right.
Is it Harrow?
I always said,
Well,
I always-
it's typed.
My favorite.
How would I know?
My favorite bit was it's pronounced like burrow, but the letter he
Spelled
used,
wrong.
the letter he used doesn't make that sound.
All right.
Horror.
All right, Horror.
It's Horrow.
It's Hurrow.
right, well,
Horrow.
Horrow's not in my top 12. Harrow is. Harrow's 11. Number 10 is the worst, AJ Worse. Though I do wake up every day and hope he's not watching the show because he's so mean to me on a regular basis. He is here, usually. So he gets in my top 10, AJ Worse.
Whoop whoop for AJ Worse.
Oh, whoop whoop.
Fun story about AJ Worse when we were doing the Betfred things and we got down to we got to sit in the suites one day. It was the first game we went to. Me and Ellie are just hanging out, and then all of a sudden we get this guy shake our hand. He's like, "Hey, AJ Worse." We're just like, "Whoa!" Like, just did not expect to see AJ.
Was he the one? Did he win? Like, was he a part of the winning?
He wasn't the big bet. So these guys, they got $10,000 bets, Fred bets, and they would use them on the craziest bets. I think that week, whoever had the $10,000 bet 3 passing touchdowns by Joe Burrow in the first half.
He got 0. He
He had 0. And like it was like 2 minutes to go in the first half, and he turns around. He's like, "Well, I don't think we're gonna win this one, boys, but it was a pleasure being with you." And I was like, "Dude, I thought you lost this thing. The first drive they didn't score."
Well, there you go. Number 9 is Game Day 513. We gave it a 999 go at Chatterbox Reds night last year. He was also there almost every single time for Chatterbox Bengals, and we had a great time in that chat. So Game Day 513 comes in at 9, which felt right considering our 999.
I like that. I like that.
Whoop whoop
Whoop whoop.
whoop whoop.
Can I give an honorable mention?
Of course.
I'll give an honorable mention
It's your list.
middle of his rankings. I want to say.
How do you know who's not on my ranking?
Because I know this person isn't. Because I thought this person I'm going to shout out. I've been trying to shout out every chatter today. Shout out to Smelliot, who I really thought was Mouse Cop in a burner. That is a real person who came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Smelliot." That's how he introduced himself to me.
That's great.
So I wanted to shout out Smelliot today, who just kissed my face and called himself Smelliot. Honorable mention.
That's good. That's fair. That's a fair honorable mention. Number 8 is a guy that I almost left off the list because of how many Quiplash games he ruined.
Okay.
But Mike Ackley is here every day. And he watches the show, and he came to Champions, and he always meets up with the guys, and he's a great viewer, consistent viewer. So it felt wrong to have him anywhere off the list. But man, Mike Ackley was the king of joining a Quiplash game, answering one question and saying, "I gotta go to work," and just giving someone a win. So I love you, Mike, but please, when it comes back, stay for the whole Quiplash game. Mike Ackley at 8.
Whoop whoop
whoop whoop.
Number 7, another regular Champions guest, one of the only chatters that I knew pre-Chatterbox.
Okay.
Went to high school together. Nate Seltzer. Nate Seltzer comes in at number 7. Another big C consistency. He's in here almost every day.
That's right. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Whoop. Number 6 is a guy who yesterday said he didn't think he was going to be on my list at all because we're very confrontational with each other. But he's one of my favorites. And I always have an affinity to the fellow Buckeyes in the chat. We went on a national championship run this year. It was as fun as you can imagine. So Mr. Mo comes in at number 6. I love Mr. Mo. Disagreements and yelling at people is way more fun than agreeing and being friends. So Mr. Mo comes in at number 6.
You and Mr. Mo do have similar debating styles to where if he's not on your side, you're just dumb.
Correct. Yeah.
Like it's just there's nothing else to talk about. It's just you're dumb, and I'm sorry for not remembering you at Bluffton. Whoop whoop, Mr. Mo.
Whoop whoop. There we go. That's number 6. Number 5, Blackmore.
Good pick.
Yes, love
Good
Blackmore.
pick. One of the few chatters that called into the show.
Yeah.
He called in. We got to hear from Blackmore. It was very, very cool. I love Blackmore.
Really high-pitched voice, right?
No, I would say it was the opposite. And Blackmore was one of the few. I think he was on Brian B's side as the two people that hated Elliott at some point. But we've grown to love each other, Blackmore and I. And this is well-deserving.
Blackmore, the culprit of getting most of the Quiplashes that are deleted?
Yeah, he certainly got a lot of them. He kept saying a name that I just asked you not to say, and they always said it.
No,
what was it?
For sure.
Well,
was it the girl's name?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
because
okay.
that's always the bit around Elliott. Oh,
that
it's
went
a
away.
girl.
That went away for a long time. I hadn't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for bringing it back up. Blackmore. Whoop whoop. He used to have a Marvin the Martian profile picture. I did. Yeah.
Number 4, Molly.
Molly, of course.
Molly's the best. A truly remarkable number of birthdays in a year. But
most people only get one.
Most people only have one a year, sometimes less. And Molly's sitting around 200, 250.
True testament to her greatness.
That's right. So Molly's at 4.
I adore Molly, and by far her best bit was she decided to give us all hats. And she gave, Reed a nice little Cubs hat.
Thank you.
Elliott got a Bengals Christmas hat. And she was going down the line, and she gets to Casey. And she gave Casey the dumbest Santa Claus underwear hat I've ever seen in my. It was complete. We all got
nothing sports related.
We all got specialty hats for the teams that we like, and Casey got Santa Claus's pants.
Well, it was supposed to symbolize that Casey's head
was the
chimney.
Yeah.
I've always likened your head to a chimney. Whoop whoop for Molly. Whoop 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 whoop.
Number 3 is Colin Will.
Good choice.
Colin Will is obviously coming in at number 3. He's one of my favorite chatters, but we certainly talk one of the most outside of the show. He DMs regularly, frequently. Yeah. We talk Bengals quite a bit. He is one of the best, always here and always delivers. Colin Will coming in at number 3.
I did reach out to him, and we are going to go golf.
There we go. He's been wanting
DCC?
to golf.
At the DCC?
We haven't picked a day or a place. I guess he's from up where I'm from.
Yeah.
And said when I was in the area near Van Wert, we would go golf. So I got a lot of crap in the chat because I ignored it, but I never know. Half these people hate my guts, so I don't.
That's
trust,
fair.
I don't trust.
You say half these people. It's just two.
It's too loud.
It's just two.
Very loud. So, but they've ruined.
Very loud.
They've made me distrust everyone else because I think it's just all one big club. I hate Kinder Club. Maybe that's conceited on my end to think that club exists, but it is what it is. But I apologize to him for not responding. And the bottom line is, we're going golf.
Colin has been
Delphus Country Club. Great track.
Where's that at? Dayton? Somewhere in Dayton?
If you had to guess where the Delphus Country Club is from.
That makes sense.
Where? Say
that
it.
makes sense.
Where do you think it's from?
Dayton.
The Delphus Country Club is in Delphus.
I don't know where Delphis is.
To be fair, he probably hadn't heard of Delphis. But
I had no idea. Delphis.
Delphis is
Well, why'd you say it makes sense? You just get I was like, do you know where it's at? And you just, it makes
Well,
sense.
because I
It makes
just thought you were
sense.
talking about like it was where he would be.
He grew up, so near Van Wert. Near Van Wert.
Delphis. Shout out to Delphis.
That's where Colin's from.
Can we get a whoop whoop for Delphis?
Yeah, whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
There we go.
We have two names
for
left,
Delphis.
right?
There are 2 names left.
So there's a decent amount of names left that I think could be in the running for these two.
You think so?
I think so.
I think these two are pretty. I think these two are pretty clear.
Do I know one of these two? Oh, you did? You went with this one.
Yeah.
He's been a longtime listener of my show over in Dayton, and I'm glad he made an impact over here. Good for him.
Yeah.
If it's who I think.
Coming in at number 2 is the Dayton carryover, the man who I think added up the most miles possible to come see the guys this year a couple times at Champions. He's in off the bench every single day. He DMs us all the time to get more takes and talk about stuff outside of the show. Absolutely love every single time I get to talk to him. It's David Shaw.
He was Kinner's protector. He texts me. I did his March Madness pool. He's a good guy, David Shaw. We're gonna miss David Shaw every day on this show.
Absolutely.
What I'm gonna have to do is tune into Justin's show and listen to him get kicked off of your show.
That's right.
He said that was one of his crowning achievements when you banned him for a week.
Got suspended first, and then I pissed him off again, and then he dropped a non-FCC approved word, and that got him on the ban list for at least a couple months.
Well, you gave a suspension, so they can't say anything about you, but you are fair.
Yeah.
You gave a warning. It wasn't a just kick off the show. You gave a warning. He's a blue guy, right?
Yeah.
He's Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Yeah,
Go
the
Blue.
big Go
Whoop
Blues.
whoop. Whoop whoop for David Shaw.
That's
Whoop,
most
whoop.
of our conversations are around the impending hammer, and it's a shame we won't have this show when that national championship.
You
gets
guys
taken away.
care a lot about that.
There's nothing in the world that matters more than taking that away. Number 1, do I have to? Can we just end it? No, number 1's obviously Mark Fetters.
Mark Fetters.
I mean, it's
nobody's
that's the
deserved.
I started at 1 and then jumped to 12. Number 1 was always Mark Fetters.
Nobody's deserved number 1 more than Mark Fetters has.
That's true.
Every single stream, every single anything that we've done, every tweet, everything.
No matter what.
Every Discord, every single thing that Chatterbox has ever done, Fetters has been there to support us.
That's right.
Now, I will say Fetters has benefited from Chatterbox. I think he's won like 5 contests that we've given away.
We've done 6, and it's just Mark Fetters.
It's just all
5,
Fetters.
Just 5 of the time.
I forget. I think it was Randy. Shout out to Twitter Randy, who got really mad at me for saying I rigged one of the giveaways we did because Fetters won it. He just thought we're just giving everything to Fetters. That's not the case. Fetters is the best. Fetters knows how much I love him, so I'm not going to say anything more here. Fetters, well deserved. So that's a good list.
Thank you.
I have a couple honorable mentions.
No.
Whoop, whoop. Ricky Logan. Ricky Logan.
No.
This isn't your list.
They're not honorable mentions.
I just want to give him to my special list. Ricky Logan has sent me 400 Instagram DMs. Ricky, I'm not ignoring them just because I'm mean. I'm only ignoring them because every time I don't get on Instagram.
I am ignoring them.
I get on Instagram like once a day. I'll put an Instagram story up whenever I'm out doing something that I think is deemed worthy of the social eye of being somewhat fun. So I'll do that once, maybe every couple of weeks. And I get DMs from. I have a couple group chats on Instagram, and I just get flooded. And every time I do, I go through them. There's one day every like 6 months. I just go through all of them. So there will be a day coming up, Ricky, where I go through all of your Instagram DMs and I open up all and I see them. But I just don't open up Instagram DMs. But I love Ricky. Alex Wallace, another guy who's been here since the beginning, now doing the pregame show, obviously with Ricky.
Wally.
Not
Smugger Pompous.
What was that?
Not Smugger Pompous.
Okay,
Wally
not
is
Smugger Pompous. Okay.
Wally is not Smugger Pompous.
Correct. I think he is smug, but. I will say this too. You don't want to shout out the 2 names.
Sir Boy?
No. Oh,
Sir Boy.
Sir Boy Wonder.
Sir Boy did not was nowhere near the top 10 just because he hasn't been here for like the last 4 months.
That is true.
He got a new job and
that is true.
He's deviated from the chat, but obviously if you go back to the roots of Chatterbox, it starts with Sir Boy Wonder, and we appreciate all the support.
Do you ever get in a Sir Boy Wonder? What do they call it?
They're my favorite
Twitter
thing, the
space.
Spaces.
The spaces. I
It's
pop
my
in every
favorite
once in a while
thing.
for like 3 minutes, and it's a lot of fun.
My favorite part about joining them is him and Harry. Shout out to Harry from C-Bus. Whenever we get in it, they just laugh. They just, oh boy, here they are, and they start like that. It's very, very, very.
And
fun.
the names of their Twitter spaces are actually just whatever we were talking about on Off the Bench that day. It would just be whatever the main topic was.
By the way, another super chat real quick. DFI again, $2. Going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss you as well. Do you want to do the top 3 of this? But where did this leaderboard thing start?
I don't know.
I'll give out the leaderboard today for the crown thing. That nobody knows where that started. Number 3, Nate Seltzer came in number 3 in the crown today.
There we go.
For the farewell show.
Well, hold on. Okay, they're all tied.
Oh, they're all tied with
The top 4 is
225.
tied at XP.
Okay, so Roger, Nate, Everett Henry, and the player formerly known as Mouse Cop are all top 4. So shout out to every one of those guys.
Tom thought I was Mouse Cop for like 6 months.
It was just because his last name was Mouse.
Correct. He thought that my burner would have my last name in it.
No, for sure.
Right, like that just makes sense.
Oh,
what a time!
What a time. Kenner, any closing thoughts?
Birds are tough.
Casey, you got anything else in the chamber over there?
Birds are tough.
Yeah, I mean, I did give Jacob a special little gift.
You did.
I did
That's
give
right.
him a little gift. Nothing crazy, nothing special, but it is something I want you to remember me by, at least. It's the truth and nothing but the truth. You can go ahead and open it and see what's inside, I guess.
Is it Tom Cruise?
Is it the plate of L's?
No, it is not the plate of L's. That would have been pretty great, too.
Oh,
jeez.
It's a Pope Joe Burrow candle.
Nice.
That is great.
What's the scent on that puppy?
Heaven. Playoffs.
It smells like nothing but
smells like the number 1 offense, the number 16 defense.
Sin.
That's all we need.
It just smells like sin.
You know what's special about that one is that it's actually
you,
a
Casey.
set, and I have the Jamar Chase version of that.
Oh, even better. Even
so
better.
You're gonna have to keep that bad puppy around for every single. You're gonna have to take it with you.
I will burn it for every game.
Yeah, every important game you have to start burning it.
That's incredible. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it.
I didn't know we were doing gifts, Dick. I mean, we used
Yeah, way to go.
Like, what the hell?
Sorry.
Well, I'm the race to see who's going to pay for Jacob's bill later. That's going to be a fun one. I'm going to call it first. I think Reed might beat me to it, but
I'm gonna buy my own lunch.
No, you're not. No, you're not. It's going to be a race. It's going to be a race to the finish. We have a super chat from Colton, $2. Enjoy life, boys. You enjoy it, Colton. Colton's always said he was going to camp out of this studio one of these days and just sit outside the window. So hopefully he comes up. Maybe if he has time, you have 5 minutes. I'll stay on for 5 minutes just so you can go to the window.
So you know what's interesting? I was just thinking about Colton because Colton recently became a father, and I know at Chatterbox we've had Casey's recently become a father. Sean just had his second child. Kirby's their family's having another one. From the time that the show started to the hiatus break that we're taking right now, our chatters have had a lot of kids. The Chatterbox community. If we were long enough, like it just it just grow just naturally. It would just grow naturally in that capacity. So shout out to not only Casey but all the dads that have become dads in the last 3 years.
That's right.
Congrats on all the sex. Good job.
Nice.
Thank you, Justin.
Nice, Justin.
It's the final show. What are they gonna do? Fire me?
Thank you, Justin.
Ernie Johnson, baby.
That's right.
Mark Fetters, $5. Good luck, Jacob. Love you.
Love you too, Mark.
So those teams that I threw in earlier, Elliott and Jacob versus Reed and Kenner. I've never seen Kenner play. But I feel like those teams work. Those two teams for our golf match later.
I think that
as long as Kenner's real bad.
I think we can do it. I think.
Wait, what are the teams?
It's going to be you and me versus Jacob and Elliott. Best ball, not a scramble. Best ball.
Best ball.
You're gonna get Elliott 9 holes. You're gonna get like 4 of my balls.
Well, we're not doing scramble.
Maybe 3. Oh, okay, not scramble.
Not a scramble.
Okay.
It's best ball.
Elliott
Best
golfs
score.
a lot.
I do.
Like a lot.
I do. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And here's the thing about my golf game: it never really improves, does it? So I could be out there for 9 days, 12 days, and in 12 days, it doesn't matter. It's just not going to improve. So.
Like yesterday.
But 9 years, and you could win the Masters.
And unlimited funding. I don't have unlimited funding. That's the difference. I could get like a bionic arm of some sort or help my game.
A bionic arm.
You don't think about
AI is crazy.
AI is crazy.
Which, by the way, that's a new bit. If you guys want to steal this one, anytime someone just claim that your job is going to get stolen by AI in a few years now, because like someone I was talking about Jacob taking a new job, and they're like, "What's going to happen with Chatterbox?" And like, I don't know. AI is taking my job in a few years, anyways. They're like, they're going to drive video boards around and do broadcasts. Like, yeah, probably. I don't know. It's crazy.
No, but yesterday, everyone's all sad and emotional, and I don't know what to say, so I just said, enjoy the golf, Elliott. Enjoy all the golf. You know, that's why this is happening. Everyone's out golfing, getting new jobs. Casey's having babies. and no one likes me, so I can't do the show by myself now. So now we just got to cancel the show until the fall. So that's just what's going on. But now I know we're about to wrap this up. First of all, I thank all of you guys, because when Trace asked me to do this about a year ago, I was nervous as hell because I didn't know any of you, and I'm not really good with strangers. So there's that aspect to it. I'm like, we'll see how I get along with people. I have always done the show by myself or just with one co-host who I've known, but I appreciate you guys welcoming me in and helping me get adapted to this and having some fun with this. Couldn't done it too without old Reed over here, who filled in all the time for me, because working for Wright State, traveling, doing all the basketball games, if I didn't have a fill-in or you guys couldn't handle doing the show when I'm not here, then I wouldn't have been able to do that. You guys were patient. You let me do the show remotely from Dayton so that I can continue doing both jobs full-time. So appreciate you guys. Doesn't feel like we're wrapping this up today, so it'll kick in later this week. But I do enjoy working with all of you, and it's going to suck not coming in every day. So there you go.
Thanks, Kenner. Thanks for being on the show for the past year.
Yep. Is that it? Any closing thoughts before we bid farewell?
No. You said thanks for me filling in. The one feedback that I always got whenever I hosted is how much better structured my show was compared to you. Yeah. You had segments. I did not have segments. It would just be right off the rip. Let's see where this show takes us. Let's see where this ride goes.
If it wasn't for the radio, breaking it up into radio segments. Like I remember when I came in, when Trace told me to come in for the first show, I kept texting him and saying, hey, when you guys go to break, let me know so I can come in. He goes, we don't have breaks. We don't do commercial breaks. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys go two hours straight.
Yeah.
That is the one thing about
way harder.
It was, I don't know if it was harder. You're right. Because
significantly
it was harder in planning because you just didn't know how long things were going to be. Yeah. But it was also nice just to let a conversation just get to its end. You know what I'm saying? Then you're just like, well, it was funny because we had terrible segues, and back when we didn't have breaks, we would just go, all right, Bengals now. That would just be how we would segue in from the Reds to the Bengals or whatever we were talking about. There would never be a segue. And in fact, when we'd have a good segue, we would acknowledge it immediately.
Which ruins it.
Well, correct. We'd be like, and the Reds are in the chase. And speaking of chase, the Bengals wide receiver, and we just go, and just that'd be how we segued. It was great.
We'd also have shows I remember vividly the Monday. I want to say it was Mondays after Bengals games. We would talk about the same part of the Bengals game for 2.5 hours, and we would go long too on it. We wouldn't change subjects. It would literally be the same exact thing for 2.5 hours. So it was just different. The segments helped us break the brain up a little bit, whether or not we were actually taking the break or not.
Yeah. So thanks for that.
Casey, I really do think you should be the one to end it today. You were the first one on the first show.
That's right.
And you're going to be the last one to speak on this show right now. So you got to think of something nice to say.
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot.
I know. Yeet. I wouldn't end it with a yeet.
I'm going to miss your wrestling takes the most.
I think I'm going to miss.
I want to miss his FCC.
Takes.
When does FCC play next?
He'd have to look it up. We don't have
I'd
time.
have to look it up. Yeah.
Don't they always play on Saturdays?
They play on Saturday.
It's Saturday or Wednesday.
It's either Wednesday or Saturday. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to just thank the chat. You guys have been a part of my life for 3 years, and it's been special. When I came here to Chatterbox, my dream was to be able to create a sports talk show and produce it, be a part of it, grow it, and make it my job. And you guys have allowed me to do that for 3 years now, and I appreciate it. And it's not like Chatterbox is going anywhere. We're still going to be here. I'm going to miss Jacob, but everyone else will still be around. And we'll be back better than ever. Just got to wait a little while, and it'll be great. So thank you guys. I will put in the Discord here in a second. That way you can stay up to date with any sort of things that we do. I'm sure we're still going to be doing some members-only stuff as well. Keep a lookout for Elliot's content coming up here shortly. This is our goodbye, our off-the-bench goodbye, but it's not a farewell. It's a see you later. So I'm going to miss you guys in the chat a lot. hopefully you're back here in a couple months. See you guys later.